going to hide behind my mic.
Go for it. Welcome, everybody.
Welcome, everybody.
Whoa.
Woo. We will start the show proper very soon.
Soon. We should be starting it now.
15 people, come on. People.
I just want to see everybody first.
Kieran, can you hear us?
This is the preamble. This is the green room.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's a rather blue one, I'm in.
Yeah, I know. Hello, Kieran. Hello, Moth Ram Deer.
Cheers, Kieran.
Loser, hello.
Hello.
Get your beers going. Get your drinks out.
Someone called
Fashionably late.
Dead Pete Lunk. I can't remember what that says.
Who's he?
You might like my badges there. Some badges on. My favourite podcasts.
The Hicks.
Evening, Hicks.
This is how the sausage is made.
We're making sausages.
Oh, yes.
Shit.
Isn't that Chris O'Regan's podcast?
I don't know, actually. I don't know.
Does the sausage factory for
The people viewing will see my script, my really sophisticated script.
What, the Twitch chat that you've just revealed?
Oh, yeah. That's you guys. Look, you're on telly.
Little peek behind the curtain there.
Pinpricks. Dick. Less of that. Right, without further ado, let's start this roller coaster. It's easy listening to a record. I'll start that again. It's easy listening to a record, but a live performance is so personal and real, just like that. Ladies, gentlemen, and variations thereupon, this is the first ever live recording of Modern Escapism.
Hey!
The music. I don't listen to this podcast. Don't know how it goes.
It's the greatest theme tune ever, surely.
Yes. Hello and welcome to the show. And hello to the live chat that get to see how the sausage is made. My name is Oodles, the compare without compare. And today I am joined by... You can't edit out the shite in this episode. It's Gadget.
Easy week for me this week. Easy week for me.
The last time she performed live, she got a standing ovation. It's Candy Machine.
Hello.
He told me in the green room that he believes performing live is where he will shine, and he's not nervous at all. It's Stig.
Hello.
And finally, a man so strikingly beautiful, he's been banned from appearing on television due to upstaging every actor he's ever worked with. It's Biggie. So without further ado, let's go to the corporate shilling. Let's sell some stuff. Stig, we've got a Patreon, haven't we?
Yep, we certainly do. And if you head over to patreon.com/Modern Escapism, you'll see everything that we do on there. We have 3 tiers available. The first one is Modern Escapees. For £5 a month, you'll get an extended weekly episode of this show and at least one monthly special. I've just finished editing that today, so
yes.
I don't think that'll be out before this comes out. I think it's coming out the week after, so look forward to that if you're a Patreon. We currently are on with Too Faff, Too Curious, where Gadget and Biggie are watching the Fast and the Furious for the first time, and I'm very much looking forward to editing that second episode.
Yeah, we had fun recording it, or rather shouting.
Yes.
Breaking my heart.
You can get the first episode for free, and if you want to listen to any more, you have to sign up for the Patreon. We also do a Dungeons & Dragons podcast called Do Dragons Dream of Scorched Sheep, and on the Scorched Sheep tier, that is also £5 a month. You will get ad-free early access to the podcast. You also get access to any original songs, artwork, character sheets, and anything we do for the show, as well as being able to suggest NPCs and items for Gadget to use. And if you're feeling flush, £7.50, the Biggie Bundle gets you everything.
And as Deadbeat Punk has said quite rightly, go Biggie Bundle or go home.
I agree.
Absolutely.
And Tendo13 saying needing to wait for payday, but the Biggie Bundle is being subbed to. Well, we thank you.
I'll be standing right behind you until you press enter.
He does that as well.
Sniggy!
Excellent. Thank you very much for that, Stig. And without further ado, let's just crack on with it. For people that have maybe it's the first time, this is what we call the Nexus. This is what we've been doing all week, or sometimes not doing. So, Gadget, what have you been or not been doing this week?
What have I been doing? Well, I've not been doing much work because I've been doing a lot of podcast stuff. A couple of things this week. For one, I'm going to give a slight Gadget review because yesterday I decided to treat myself to a pair of AirPods Pro. And these are fucking brilliant. Obviously, everyone's very much aware of what AirPods are. These little earbuds.
They're beauties.
Oh, they're absolute beauties. I bought them kind of on a whim, partly as a treat because I got some good news this week. And yeah, I've been listening to them all day while I've been doing housework and kind of pottering around the shops. They've got active noise cancelling and something that small. It's incredible. I walked into Asda before and I popped them in, and it's just like before I even pressed play on my podcast, just the world went silent.
Yeah, they're really good for that.
I've used noise cancelling stuff before, but not active noise cancelling. I've just used ones where it just like sucks into your ear and you just can't hear anything as a result of it. So these ones are like the digital noise cancelling. It was really weird. I put them in last night when I went to bed because I thought I'll give it a try, like having some like ambient sounds on. And when I put them on and I put it on, it's just like I realised I couldn't hear my own breathing. It's a surreal feeling.
Are you sure you were breathing?
Hang on.
You still here?
Yeah, still here, still alive. But the main thing I wanted to talk about was I finally got round to reading Ask Iwata.
Oh, yeah.
I'm realising on Zoom this is looking reversed. But this is the book that was released.
Is that the least successful one to ask Jeeves?
No, more successful because Iwata was in business for a lot longer. So, obviously, it was a few years ago, quite sadly, the Nintendo CEO Satoru Iwata passed away. He was quite a sick man. I think he had cancer, didn't he?
Yeah.
So this book is from a blog that he did on the Japanese Nintendo site. It was never translated into English. It was just always in Japanese. And this is kind of the first translation of it. And it's just some of his pearls of wisdom about how he operated Nintendo. I didn't realise that Iwata was a programmer before he became the CEO. I always thought he was a businessman.
Oh, bloody hell, he rose to the top.
He worked for HAL Laboratories, so he worked on some of the big games. He was the chief coder on Kirby and Dreamland, for instance.
Oh, God, I love that game.
He rescued Earthbound.
Yes.
Because without Iwata joining the developer, I can't remember what the name of the developer, but without Iwata joining the developer of Earthbound for the last year of it, it would have taken another 2 or 3 years to come out. In fact, it would have came out after the N64 came out.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So it's really worthwhile reading, especially if you work in an office environment or if you work in a kind of a business environment. Yes, you're right, Punk. He did. He fixed the Pokemon games as well between him and Shigeru Miyamoto.
Those the Pokemon games they're so good.
Yeah,
Never played one ever.
Oh, they're so good.
There's things that Iwata did that I have wished like my bosses would do. Like even as CEO, he would have two interviews every year with every member of staff. Didn't matter whether you're a lead, whether you're a developer, whether you were the cleaner. He would sit and he would talk to everyone. It wasn't like you're in trouble or what's the company doing. It's just like, what do you think? What do you feel? How are you? Those kind of interviews.
That's what you want, though, isn't it?
Yeah. It talks about how he became friends with Shigeru Miyamoto and how it started off that the two of them were not fractious towards each other, but a bit cautious of each other at the start. And then they work together. They have different sides of the same coin. So Shigeru Miyamoto is a very creative man, but he's not the best coder in the world. Whereas Iwata was a very rigid man, but he made brilliant code.
Yeah.
And you had this kind of this meeting of minds as they came together, and it came to the point where they would have lunch every Monday without fail, at a very cheap ramen place.
Oh yeah.
I mean, despite the amount of money both of them were on, they never like spread their wealth or anything like that. They would just go and just have lunch somewhere cheap.
It's kind of your thing in that culture as well, though, isn't it? They're not that type of people.
But there's one chapter in it that's actually surprisingly hard to read, and that's it's just titled "Remembering Iwata," and it's an interview with Shigeru Miyamoto and the producer behind Earthbound, Iwata or something like that. I can't remember his name. It's so sad. But like they speak so highly of him. But it broke my heart at the end of the last sentence of Miyamoto's one is, I really miss him. I was just like, oh, mate.
Oh, God.
Oh, it's brutal. But it's such a lovely little read. It's only about 150 pages long. It's so uplifting all the way through because, like I say, Iwata talks about like his struggles, like things he's found out, like the way he approaches situations, the way he approaches difficult things. It's like it's like the best job interview book you could ever read.
Yeah.
You can get so many tips from it, and this was I paid £18 for it. And it's a lovely hardback book. It
is really nice.
It's got a lovely little artwork of Iwata on the back there.
Oh, wow.
And it's beautifully printed. And there's just that classic quote of his, on my business card, I'm a corporate president. In my mind, I'm a game developer, but in my heart, I'm a gamer. And it's just, it's a really good book.
Did you hear that, Goodles?
Oodles no longer likes him.
Yeah, he's off my list now.
Oh, and yeah, people are saying in the chat as well. He always remembers Iwata took a pay cut as CEO when the Wii U went belly up.
Fucking hell! Wow.
Yeah.
So rather than laying off staff, he took a pay cut so he didn't have to fire anybody.
That's what you want.
Yeah, like most businesses would do that.
Yeah.
Futile Exercises, subscribe with Prime. Thank you, Futile.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tendo's saying that he was my hero in the gaming industry. I shed tears when he passed. And Kieran's just ordered the hardback. You're a good man, Kieran. It's a really.
Yes.
I read it in 2 evenings. It's easy read, but it's lovely to read. It's a really nice book.
Oh yeah. Oh, lovely. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. We're going to go in order of what I can see on my screen. So it's my turn now. I've I've been away this week, so I haven't done much. But I did manage to catch What If? Marvel's What If, the new show on Disney Plus.
I've been keen to hear about this.
The first episode dropped. It's an animated show. Before we go on, beautifully animated, absolutely stunning.
I liked it.
I don't know what kind of animation style they're using. It's just really modern, and it just pops. And I know this is a weird thing to say for someone that I love cartoons, but it doesn't feel like you're watching a cartoon when it's happening.
It looks really fluid, doesn't it?
Yeah, really fluid. It's
I feel
so
like
nice.
it's what Disney cartoons would look like if they had hand drawn more than CGI now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they would be looking like this.
It's just so pretty to watch. Straight away, I'm in. So the first episode that we all got to see is Captain Carter. What if Captain Carter were the first Avenger? So the whole show is hosted by the ethereal being known as the Watcher, and Marvel fans will know who that is. The first episode of What If revolves around a pretty straightforward hypothetical, basically. So Peggy Carter, Steve Rogers' long-lost lover, what if she was injected with the super soldier serum instead of Steve Rogers? Which straight away, what would happen? And basically, and this has been a complaint online as well. Basically, the same thing happens, but roles are reversed.
Shocking how you think that.
Yeah, so she becomes a super soldier, Captain Carter. She's got a British shield, and she's really tall and really muscular. And she has to actually, it's quite poignant actually, she has to actually deal with 1930s, 1940s sexism as well. Yeah. The director of the Super Soldier project.
She's British. Does that mean she's Captain Britain?
They don't call her that, but it very, very much alludes to Captain Britain. But yeah, she has to deal with a lot of like sexism and hierarchical things in the army. Like women can't fight on the front lines, but she fucking fights, and she's got a bigger death toll than
That's the
proper
Russians,
Captain America. Well, yeah, that's true. But it's just really. I mean, there's been a lot of nerd rage again because a strong female. We've not seen that before. That's what they're all saying. So that's one of the discourses I'm seeing already on Twitter. But from my perspective, I think it was absolutely fantastic. I'm not going to spoil what happens because there are differences to the Captain America film that we know, but the beginning's very similar. I think
the clue's in the title. What if? It's as
exactly.
simple as that.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
It is. It's really well done. And I think it's misleading for a lot of people because they're saying that it's in the Marvel canon now. Due to events.
I thought it was explicitly not in the canon, hence it being called What If.
It's definitely canonical.
I have a feeling that something is going to happen in these shows, which is canon.
Massive spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're not caught up with the whole Marvel universe, I mean, you'll understand why it's canonical and why it potentially isn't canonical. But it's really, really, really well paced. I think it's about 35 minutes an episode, something along those lines. And it's so good. And there's one bit I like to see. I saw it. It's Steve Rogers is that weedy little Steve Rogers from the beginning of Captain America, and he's that throughout. It's really good. And there's one bit where she fucking smashes a tank and stuff. it's just really good. But if I say more about it, we'll kind of spoil it. But 35 minutes of your life for some real Marvel goodness. I'm proper looking for. I like that it's now Marvel Wednesdays on Disney Plus because you've got something to look forward to in that midweek. But yeah, I recommend everyone to watch it. 35 minutes of your life, just get on it. So,
there was one thing I really liked was obviously when she goes into the machine.
Yeah,
I did say to my wife, I was like, I think she's going to come out all buff.
Oh, she did.
And she steps out, I was like, oh yes, she is.
Yeah.
Like
she's buff.
She's grown, she's buff. I goes, yeah, but it's like I don't think Steve Rogers will be touching her chest in this one.
No, definitely.
And then, do they refer to that as like Britain's ass? Or something?
Britain's chest.
No,
I do have two minor gripes with it.
Yeah, go for it.
I don't think some of the voice acting is very good.
I agree.
I think Sebastian Stan, if it hadn't said Sebastian Stan in the opening
you wouldn't
credits,
know it were him.
You wouldn't know it was him because his delivery is shocking.
It's as if he's zoomed it in. He's been on a Zoom call and he's done it that way.
I think it kind of shows the difference between professional voice actors, compared to just actors voicing a cartoon.
Sebastian Stan can be a bit uneven in general. Like,
some
of his Winter Soldier stuff in the films is. You know, he looks nice and brooding in the first film that he's in, but when he actually has to
he's
act,
gorgeous.
It can be a little wooden, shall we say.
Ironically, the person playing Steve Rogers, who is obviously doing an impersonation of Chris Evans, sounds the most like the character.
Yeah, he does.
The rest of them don't sound as good, in my opinion. But there's that, and also the thing that Steve Rogers kind of gets makes no sense to me.
It makes no sense to me either. But it's what if?
Yeah, that's the only way you can look at it. It's like, oh, it's what if. I was like, all right, yeah, okay.
But watching it, you get why they opted for the cartoon route, don't you? Because
it would have cost a fortune.
It would have cost a fortune. But yeah, watch it, guys. Let's move on.
Well, before we move on, we'll just catch up with the chat quickly because we've had a follow from the Open World show, so thank you for that.
Thank you.
Jakey L Gaming is subscribed with Twitch Prime.
Thank you.
Acid X Pearl has popped up saying, hello, nice to see Candy brushed her hair today.
First time forever.
And Punk
it's not a wig.
Punk said it was a wig.
No one ever notices me.
Your hair's divine on your chin. Excellent. So we'll move on to you, Candy. What have you been doing this week?
I've had quite a busy week this week, actually. A couple of you were with me for this. I finished Those Who Remain on stream.
I apologise.
Now, when I say I finished it, I mean I stopped playing it. I didn't complete the game.
You're finished with it.
Yes. Now, I started actually quite liking this to begin with. It was quite charming. Quickly went downhill.
Can I just make a disclaimer as well? We got a code for it.
We did get a code, which makes it slightly stingless. It just... I think the trouble... It just became a little bit repetitive, and it suffered from getting to a save point. There weren't save points, so it would take you back quite far if you did fuck up, which I frequently did, as you saw. Mm-hmm. There wasn't a map, and you just had a basic lack of interaction with the environment. So there's a scene that you're in a police station at one point, and you think, you know, these fallen police officers, they've got guns, can't pick them up.
Nope. So
there's none of that. The game mechs just didn't really grow or develop as the game went on, and as some of you saw, it did end with a glitch, and the glitch took me back to a couple of hours previously, and
you thought, fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, the previous couple of hours had been pretty grueling anyway, and I was at the point of pulling my fake hair out with it. So that was the end of Those Who Remain for me.
The look of anger on your face was incredible. I've never seen you looking so angry.
Worth it for my money. What money we didn't spend.
Got that you getting smacked in the face by the cat, so it was worth it.
Oh yeah,
that was an absolute nugget. He's in a curry now, I'll just say. What you can't see on Twitch as well is my face getting redder just because I've got my beauty filters on, so you can't see the anger.
There's beauty filters. Fuck, why didn't you tell me?
You don't need them. But the main thing I did this week, I watched a show
Created
on
them.
Apple called Physical.
Yes.
Oh, I've seen this
this.
advertised.
Yes.
Now, Physical is it's set in 80s San Diego. It follows a self-loathing housewife who suffers from bulimia, so you've got a bit of a trigger warning there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, played by Rose Byrne, whose life starts to change after discovering a local aerobics class. Now, this is described as a dark comedy. I would probably disagree with this. I would say it's more like a drama with light-hearted moments. I don't think you could really call it a comedy. It follows a similar format to all the other Apple TV shows that are out at the moment. So about 10 episodes, 30-ish minutes, and they're released weekly. Incidentally, all of them are out now, so you can binge it. It's not, I wouldn't say it's as strong as some of the other Apple shows that are currently out. It's not a patch on maybe Ted Lasso or
Nothing
Mythic
is.
Quest. Ted Lasso is so pure. But it is quite bingeable because they are short episodes. It's just an easy background watch. I did not like it. It's just not groundbreaking. What I do like, it doesn't fall into the trope of using overly stereotyped 80s music and fashion. It is set in the 80s. It doesn't, keep going on about it.
It hasn't got Duran Duran on every little scene.
I think they are on it once, but not every. I mean, apart from the aerobics outfits, which are just fantastic, but people actually did wear them, so I'll let them.
People are starting to wear that now. It's coming
I
back.
wear it to work all the time. Got the old camel toe out. It's brilliant.
Oh God!
We're
live, remember?
I will say
I'm not
I've
getting
noticed,
it out now.
I will say I've noticed compared to like Mythic Quest or Ted Lasso, they haven't put as much marketing push behind it. Like I saw a couple of video ads on Twitter, and that was about it. And like literally, they were like 2 seconds long. It was just Rose Byrne posing. Whereas like the Ted Lasso ones or the Mythic Quest ones, you tend to get like a trailer and promoted adverts. So yeah, they don't seem to be putting as much money behind it.
Yeah. So Rose, we mentioned Rose Byrne. She actually plays her character really well. She's overly critical of her own physical appearance, but also everyone else's, and she's got a constant internal dialogue. And it does sort of accurately reflect the way sometimes you do speak to yourself. Sometimes you've just got that horrible voice in your head, and it starts attacking you, and it starts attacking everyone else. So they do reflect that pretty well, I thought. She's Rose Byrne herself. I find that she's got quite a painful face, and she does.
She is a friend of the show.
I don't mean that an attractive face.
We've got an email from her later.
She's talented and beautiful.
She is very beautiful, but she wears that pained expression very well, and she nails.
She has a pained face, not a painful face. Then
not a pained face, and painful. But she does do these passive aggressive characters so well. She had a similar kind of role in Bridesmaids. She's just that character that you kind of love to hate.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you've got a bit of time, if you want something on in the background, I would watch it. Just don't expect it to be groundbreaking, but you'll probably enjoy it. So go for it.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Shall we swiftly move on to Stig?
Yes, I watched a few films this week, but I can't talk about them because they kind of link in with my main topic choice. So I'll bring them up a bit further down the line. So the only other thing really that I've watched recently is the film Pig.
Pig?
So Pig is a American drama film written and directed by Michael Sarnowski. It's his directorial debut. It stars Nicolas Cage, Alex Wolff, and Adam Arkin. And it follows a truffle forager whose beloved truffle-finding pig goes missing. And he goes on a mission to track it down through the underground and the high society of Portland, Oregon.
It's just things you watch sometimes, mate.
Is this Taken with pork?
So, one would think that. One would think... this is a story. It stars Nicolas Cage. His pig gets stolen, and he goes on a bit of a mission to find it. Okay, so we're basically getting John Wick with Nicolas Cage. It is about as far removed from that as you can get.
Wow,
it's incredible.
Really?
Yep.
That's not hyperbole either. It's just incredible.
It's such a great film.
Wow.
So it is a revenge thriller in inverted commas. But it subverts all expectations. That it almost becomes anti-revenge in a weird way. It pretty much deconstructs everything you know about the likes of John Wick and Nobody.
All the tropes.
Constantly setting up these situations only to subvert you even more.
Wow.
Nicolas Cage this is the best Nicolas Cage performance I've seen him in a very, very long time.
Wow.
I
was going to say they don't happen often.
No, it's so great. It's so understated.
Mandy was well liked, wasn't it? And
but that was the Wicker Man wasn't.
But,
no,
Mandy was Cage going full Cage.
Yeah, Face Off as well.
Batshit mental like Cage. This is just so subdued and he's so quiet and just meaningful in it. It's honestly, it's brilliant. The direction is great. The music is probably the best part about it. It's brilliant, the music. And yeah, for a film called Pig, based on the kidnapping of a pig, it's probably one of the most human films you'll ever get.
I was going to say, that's not a trope that we come across a lot.
I'm genuinely liking the sound of it. It's like if I go downstairs and go to the wife, fancy watching Pig tonight?
Yeah.
What rating is it, by the way?
I don't know, to be honest. It's probably only a 12.
Oh, okay, so it's not like full gore violence or stuff.
There's none of that in it.
Wow.
None of that in it. That's the whole point.
It sounds surreal.
The last half an hour is properly emotionally overwhelming, and the final moments are hauntingly beautiful. Like,
wow.
Literally the last moment of it is just, you're like, like it's brilliant.
Don't think I've heard hauntingly beautiful and Nicolas Cage in the same sentence for a very long time.
No,
so
not
dare I say it? Are we talking like Oscar material based on what you said?
If Nicolas Cage gets an Oscar for Pig, I'll eat my hat.
If he was kind of in better stead with Hollywood, and if it was closer to Oscar season, people might talk about it that way. It's reviewed very well. I mean, what is it on Rotten Tomatoes? Let's have a quick look.
That should be 100% or something.
Universally praised, yeah.
Yeah. It's currently at drum roll 97%.
Whoa!
Holy shit!
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah,
83 on audience.
Yeah, wow. 7 out of 10 on IMDb.
That's massive.
I don't go by IMDb anymore.
No, they're up and down
terrible
all the time.
Yeah. But yeah, I like you all you thought at the start of this, I went into it expecting some sort of, all I know was like, watch Pig, it's brilliant. So I went into expecting some kind of indie artier John Wick.
Yeah.
With but with a pig kind of bullshit. But you come away with it like proper pondering the existential exploration of emptiness and loss.
I think you've sold it on
and how people find meaning when there's like not, everything else seems lost. It's kind of proves why you should never write Nicolas Cage off.
I'm slightly concerned.
I never did.
He can act.
I'm slightly concerned with the fact that we're in a world now where Nicolas Cage is having a resurgence, but not just like action films, like actual genuinely good films.
Yeah, like Raising Arizona style.
Yeah. Like, wow. This is the man that did Drive Angry, He
did.
He's done a lot of shit in the last 15,
and
20 years.
And Ghost Rider 2.
Oh, God, Ghost Rider. Oh, God, Ghost Rider 2. It was filmed on a little camcorder.
Yeah, but you said that was a film you really liked, isn't it?
No, I got that wrong. Got that wrong.
Yeah.
Blade 2.
Check it out. Seriously.
We will.
Yeah. I think it's only about 90 minutes long as well, so it's not even a long film.
I'm down for Pig. We're all down for Pig. Brilliant. Thank you very much. Biggie.
Ooh. Well, Tuesday, thanks to N. Flem, friend of the show, went to go and see Jimmy Carr live on his terribly funny tour. And yes, he really laughs like that. Yeah, it's Jimmy Carr. I mean, I don't know what you really expect really when you go to that. It's as offensive as he can be. Some jokes you've kind of maybe heard before, but he again picked on people in the crowd. We were actually front row in the middle, and
he would dare pick on you.
Well, we kind of got overlooked, I have to say. Yeah, so
we look at you, and he just stood still for a few seconds, like, oh, wow,
how beautiful, and then moved on. But yeah, it's just he was really good. I mean, I could quote some jokes, but I won't because they're really offensive. So we'll
Yeah,
move on
don't.
from that.
If he had picked on you and asked you what you do, would you have said your proper job, or would you big podcast?
Well, the problem was I would have actually said what I would do, but then all my mates next to me who don't do the same thing all said they were going to say the same thing, so they wouldn't get picked on. So yeah, but yeah, it was a good night out. It was a good laugh. I watched the footy yesterday. Are we allowed to talk about football?
Oh, let's
Of
not.
course we
I mean,
are.
you can, yeah. I didn't
Yeah, it was
think
just
we were bring
nice
this up.
to. I know Stiggy went to see a game recently, but it was nice to see the football back. It's nice to see people in the crowds. Yeah, it was just great. It was a great result for us. Not so much a great result for other teams, but
For Leeds, not a good result on and off the pitch.
I was going to say you weren't one of the arseholes running around Manchester City.
No,
Centre,
I
were
were
you?
in Northern Wales. I was well out of it.
But yeah, it was nice to see that the football season start again. Some interesting results. But yeah, the main thing I very quickly wanted to cover was that I started playing Divinity: Original Sin,
Great game. Fabulous.
which
mate.
I've had in my backlog for ages.
Yes.
So I just wanted to play something different, so I whacked that up. For anybody that's not heard of it, it was originally supported on Kickstarter. The version I'm playing was released in 2015 because I think it went through a few updates and so on from PC through to console.
Yeah.
I've got the enhanced edition. It's an RPG based in the Divinity universe. It's not the very first game. It's like a prequel from what I understand. So
It's sort of it's a reinvention. So there was like 4 Divinity games in the 90s on PC. Like I've got a couple of them on GOG.
Yeah, they were about 30 pence, weren't they, at one point?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And in fact, well, the one I got, they were giving it away for free.
I get offers from them all the time. Emails like from GOG,
Get on,
just like
get on,
yeah,
board,
get
man.
on.
Get on
Great
it.
stuff.
Yeah.
You can get Metal Gear Solid on there. But yeah, so Larian, who make them now, they got the license for Divinity in 2012 and took like 3 years to get started. And then they did the Kickstarter and released Divinity: Original Sin,
so
and the rest
good.
is history.
And yeah, do you know what? It's a funny game.
Oh
The script is excellent. It's beautiful considering how simple the game is. It's like a isometric, like top-down view of the world. You can zoom in and out. For example, I'm currently at the port town of Sicile, and there's like seagulls constantly flying around. It just looks beautiful. The sound is excellent. Comedy, the acting is very good. Voice acting is superb. Not very far into it, but yeah, just enjoying it. You basically walk around the town. You start getting. There's a main quest, by the way. You've been asked to investigate the murder of a town councillor, and this town is also under siege by orcs and the undead. So there's like this constant threat as soon as you arrive in this town.
Standard.
And then I can't really tell you too much about it. I'm quite early in, but you just get given lots of quests and things get unlocked as you walk around the town. And I'm just soaking it all in. I'm just very impressed.
It's so good, man.
It's a great both Divinity games are great. D&D without Wizards of the Coast. You know that is based. They're as close to D&D in a video game as you'll ever get these days. The one tip I'll give you, because I'll not spoil anything for you, you must have at least one person in your party with the pet pal skill.
Yes, you talk to cows and stuff. It's so good.
Fucking hilarious. Some of the things the animals come out with, but also like because if you've gotten to Size Seal, you'll know that the first kind of major NPC you meet is disguised as a cat.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
So
is it Ahu or something like that?
Aru, yeah. So if you have pet pal, you can you don't have to sit and listen to him meow for 5 minutes before he decides to get bored and change into the wizard.
Experience with that, haven't we?
Yeah, we know about that.
But yeah, I mean, there isn't too much I can go on about it because I'm still very early doors in this. But from what I've seen, it looks amazing. Sounds great.
They're huge games as well.
Go for it. Yeah,
I mean, my first playthrough of the first game was like 50 hours. My first playthrough
mine was about that much.
My first playthrough of the second game was about 75 hours. Like
I
huge,
still haven't got
games.
to the very end of the second game. I've got to the last bit, but not the very end. I left it on the PS4, didn't I? Like an idiot.
You fool!
Oh.
But yeah, that's it for me.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. So, do you want to catch up with a chat?
Yeah, I was going to say we've had resubscriptions from Tig. He's popped into the chat. We also had a follow and a subscription from Sanbone Solo.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Sunburn.
Yeah. Also going down. Sneaky said that Pig sounds
Sneaky.
absolutely dire.
Nice.
Awesome.
And then also with regards to the football, he just says not after today's result. So I assume Newcastle lost.
Oh yeah.
Newcastle
Oh, yeah.
never
Oh,
win.
yeah.
What do you mean?
Nimrod Hicks pointing out he's a Liverpool fan in Norwich, so I think he's happy. Is he happy?
Yeah.
Did
Yeah,
Liverpool do well?
we won away in Norwich, so it's like he's in the.
Oh, right.
He's in the mosh pit.
And Robotic Monkey is very happy to see both me and Biggie drinking Thatcher's cider.
Yeah, baby.
Because
You both thinking the same thing?
Well,
No,
he's,
different
he's-
versions.
He spotted my bottle of Thatcher's Katie.
I love Katie. Oh, it's so good.
I also have a Robotic Monkey. Sketch Jim Repeat is now hosting a stream for one viewer. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Once I finish the
Thank you.
Katie, I also have Thatcher's Vintage as well.
Oh,
Lovely.
Heartburn tackle that, mate.
So, even though this is our birthday stream, Sketch Jim Repeat has just popped into the chat. It was her birthday this week, so we should wish her a happy birthday.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
to you.
21. Wow. I just say everyone's 21, so you don't offend anybody.
Is that so that we would say that you're 21?
I am. What do
I
you
don't
mean?
let him get away with it.
No.
Look at my lovely, luscious hair.
I was born in 1921.
I mean, did you not see the comment that the Punk said when he joined the stream and he said it looks like H from Steps has let himself go?
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, Robotic Monkey vintage is a strong look. I do like it. I think I've got another bottle of Katie downstairs as well. I just picked up 3 bottles of Thatcher's randomly at the shop today.
That's what you're supposed to do.
haven't
It's
gone
random
wrong.
pickage.
Absolutely, it's how you find new things.
Right. So before we move on to our main topic, this little thing I've got here has been with me for weeks. It says
Same here.
it's got my address on it, which I will not
It's,
reveal.
Yeah, we shouldn't show my address yet.
I mean, unless you want to send me nice things, not turds in the post.
Oh,
it says-
badges.
Don't open that parcel then.
I've got loads of
Yeah,
badges.
awkward.
It says not open till anniversary show. So who the hell sent me this? Oh, Candy, what
thank
is
you.
it?
I'm going to let you open them, and then I've got a little something to say as well. So get cracking.
Oh my
So we all opening all together then, are we?
Yeah, they're all the same.
Okay.
I'm scared. I think I've got this dildo already.
Oh.
Oh wow!
Oh, what?
Oh, awesome.
Nice.
How cool is this?
What the?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, there's loose things. Careful. Mind that rat trap.
Oh my god!
Man, that.
That's
Look at
incredible.
this.
These are awesome.
Oh my god! Wow.
I want to know what you think of it
coaster.
all, because I thought maybe we could
Oh my
maybe start
God.
doing some merch soon. We'll see if you think the quality's good enough.
I've got a
Yeah.
tote bag. It's like
Yes.
a E3.
Stickers.
Beautiful. Nice coffee mug.
A coffee mug.
It's upside down. Sorry.
If anyone wants to buy mine now, just go onto my OnlyFans page and DM me.
Oh my god,
A mask.
There's
Joe.
a notebook.
That'll be good for your
Yeah.
D&D lit.
Yeah.
Oh,
a
yeah.
mask so we can advertise as we go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Oh god.
Get that on for the listeners, for the watchers, in fact.
Yeah.
Get that.
Oh, they suit you. Look at that. Perfect.
Amazing.
And I just want
I don't
to
think we can
take a
podcast
moment.
them.
Now
Really
you're all
beer
over.
friendly.
Beer friendly, of course.
For,
Yeah,
for the
I just-
audio listeners, we just got a massive Modern Escapism gift bag that's not
Like a
available
good-
anywhere.
Like a goodie
Yes.
bag. Look
Yeah.
at that
This is-
tote bag. Look at
This
that.
is so cool.
This is so fucking
Thank you
cool,
so
man.
much.
Well, this
You're
is-
very
thank you.
welcome.
I'm blown away.
I
This
can
is
put
now
my
going to be
notes in here.
upgraded to my D&D notepad. So this will be everything.
Officially
That
using my coaster now.
yeah. Wow. Thank you so much
Wow.
for this, Joe.
You're a
No
beauty.
worries.
You're a beauty.
Let me say a
£500.
little-
What's that?
Oh, hang on. So Robotic Monkeys has pointed out for the audio listeners, we are looking at Candy's had printed up
yeah.
a Modern Escapism tote bag, a notebook, a face mask.
A what, sorry?
Notebook.
A notebook?
Oh, fuck off.
Into the chopper.
Coaster, a pair of stickers with the 2 different logos that we have, and a kind of coffee mug, warm vacuum flask mug, with the spaceman helmet on it.
It's beautiful. I've got to cry.
Awesome.
Wow, I'm absolutely.
Thank you
blown
so
away.
much.
I'll put a photo of it all in the Discord as well for us, so everyone can see. But
I'll get it
before
on
we
Twitter.
continue, I do want to say a massive thank you, just for letting me on this pod. Like, before the pod, I was feeling, for various reasons, a little bit down about myself, and I don't know if it's the same for guys. I suspect probably not. But when you get to your mid-30s and you're a girl, you start to become slightly invisible. And I sort of spent the last decade building up other people's ventures and not necessarily my own. So I just want to say thank you for actually seeing me and welcoming me with open arms and making me feel part of something. You've never made me feel like a noob or the odd one out, and it means a lot as a listener and a member of the show. It's really got me through some difficult times in the last year.
Oh, Joe. It's our honour, but we did need you for the quota. So...
I was going to say, no, you can't fire me anytime soon.
We had to do it, really. We had to. I'm joking. No, it's as if you never weren't here, in my opinion.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's been awesome, like since you started as well, and as well, like we've had feedback from people as well saying how good it's been since you've been on as well. So
it's been
thank you.
Absolutely superb. You fit in perfectly. Yeah, just superb. Thank you.
And you have the best words of wisdom in D&D.
I'll take that one. That's absolutely true.
Oh, thank you very much.
Sneaky saying 3 cheers for Candy. Punk saying Candy is the highlight of the show. Hicks is saying much love to Candy. Kieran says, "Oh, Candy, that's lovely. You're awesome." Nose Jam says, "Want to buy that drink flask?"
50 quid.
I'm just gonna flap those tears back in.
Would you like me to show the stream what you sent me, Candy?
Yes, I did a little something else this week as well.
Oh, I'm gonna
what the heck
you might
happening?
have to look at your streams.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So you'll have to look at the streams. It's not going to be pretty. I'm just going to chuck an image source on the stream. It's going to look nasty, but you'll.
The picture, not the.
No, not the picture. So Candy has had this done. If I just then boost the size of it and give them a few seconds to
Wicked.
to see it.
I'm still waiting.
Awesome.
As usual, I'm going to be last to see this, whatever it is.
You're always last to know Oodles.
But it's fine because we've
That's
decided
class.
tonight also to announce we're changing our logo.
I get to decide that.
Yes,
Wow!
Candy is the Arc
awesome.
Queen.
I'd like to thank Acid Pearl, my wonderful co-worker and friend, for doing that for me. At Bloody Earth, though.
I don't want to tell you that this is his last show.
For you, maybe.
Yeah, they're
well,
me off.
Very nice job, Acid Pearl.
Drop these losers and start your own show. So
I agree with you. Drop these losers. That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. Oh God, what an amount. Well, I haven't got you anything, so sorry. I mean, I've got you this podcast.
Exactly. That's all I need in life.
thank you very much, Candy.
That is
just
just
of course.
Brilliant.
Amazing.
My pleasure.
Absolutely superb.
And we're going to be here for another 10 years. Don't you worry.
And I've just replaced my shitty drinks mat on my desk with that one.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah,
Well,
so
the
good.
thing is, Candy, I mean, I don't know what to do for the best because your one is absolutely lovely, but it would be replacing my Nuka-Cola one.
Oh, you could send that to me.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
a good trade. Excellent. So, for the audio listeners, that was a load of tripe. But we loved it. So, Biggie,
Hang
why
on,
don't you...
we've got to redrink.
Oh, God.
Uh-oh.
God. Biggie, why don't you tell everyone what our main topic is this week? Because it's been a struggle.
Well, as you've already guessed, it's our birthday episode today. It's been a year. So thank you to everyone that helped set it up. Thank you to everyone that's been following us, supporting us. We are here because of you. We enjoy doing what we do because of who you are. And our community that's developed in Discord is just wonderful. More on that later. But yeah, it's been 1 year of modern escapism. So we thought this week we'd do an open topic. So we're going to talk about, what our favorite things are of all time. It's going to get deep.
Yeah, it were really, really fucking hard to think of something. It's like, you tell the person with the world's worst ADHD, you can talk about anything. I'm like, I have no idea what to do.
I mean, this is just an elaborate way to torture you, Oodles.
Yeah, I know. I was like, everything, anything, blah. But anyway, let's do our typical round robin style. Same order as we did on the Nexus. So, Gadget, what do you want to talk about?
So I want to talk about, like everyone, I kind of wrestled on this one. I did think for a while about maybe talking about the PS2 because that was a kind of a big thing in my life. But then I realised that over this past year, there's something that has become more important to me, and that is not just this podcast, but in general, podcasting.
It's so good, isn't it?
It is. I got into podcasts about 5 or 6 years ago. I'm fairly late to it. Well, yeah, like I didn't care about when it was like the Ricky Gervais show and stuff like that. Like I wasn't bothered then. I was
about the same, to be honest.
I was more into music at the time, but I remember there was a time a couple of jobs ago when I was like bored at work listening to the same playlists over and over again, and music kind of wasn't doing it for me. And I've said before, like I'm a metalhead. There was nothing really in metal that was doing it for me.
Yeah, there was a bit of a metal death for a while, wasn't there?
Yeah, I still think it's going on, to be honest. There's not much I've heard that I like.
The death curve.
Yeah. So I remember listening to... Holy shit, Debbie Punk gave out 10 community subs. Woo, fuck me.
Thank you very much.
Dude,
Thank you, Punk.
Awesome, thank you.
He's a good lad. He's a good lad.
He's a good lad indeed.
just wish you wouldn't bring our name down, that's all.
Right, happy birthday, cunts.
Hey, that's the Punk we know and love.
Thanks, babe.
Hey, Enflem. Music wasn't doing it for me, so I was kind of looking for something just to keep me occupied at work. Besides work.
Hey, Enflem.
So I went onto Apple Podcasts and I just started flicking around, seeing what was there.
It was a cesspit at that point.
It was a bit of a cesspit, but I discovered TCGS. That was the first podcast I ever listened to. It's where we all met. Because I went in, I thought, well, I like computer games, so I went in video games. Oh, the computer game show. That seems like it's right for me.
And that's what I call them as well.
And that was, like, they were on, like, episode 12 at the time, I want to say. Like, something really fucking early. And I got into them, and I kind of listened to what they put out there, and I got into it, and then I started, like, looking at more. So I just went in, like, what was popular. So I started listening to Reply All. Went straight into that, loved it. Started talking with people at work. Case File, that was another one. Fell into that. I'm not a big true crime person, but that guy's voice is just, it's like ASMR. It's beautiful. It's a proper slow, smooth Australian voice. A bit like Vati Vidya. That kind of voice.
Oh.
And yeah, I just kind of fell really into podcasting in a big way. And it's actually at the point now where I don't listen to that much music anymore. If I listen to music, it's just like background ambience. So like I'll put a synthwave playlist on when I'm driving or something. But 9 times out of 10 these days, it's podcasts I listen to. I mean, in the last year, I started one. I started a second. And like I'm actively working towards getting to a point in my life where I can do podcasting for a living, you know? Like I'm trying
out of all of us, you're the one that could.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to make it a move. Like I know I've just had job offers for a new IT job, but like the intention is in a couple of years to try and make a move into podcasting full time.
I know people that do it.
Yeah, I mean, I discover so much. Like I listen to stuff like Hardcore History, and I hear like the background to a lot of stuff that I know the history of anyway, but I don't know the detail of, like stuff that we were taught in school, like when you did World War II history in school, you did a little bit on the Pacific Theatre, but you didn't really do much on it. And yet, like in the last 2 years, I've listened to Dan Carlin talk about it for what feels like 16 days, because that man does not do short podcasts.
No.
I listened to Marcus Brownlee. He has a podcast. He has the Waveform podcast. And
it's so
much as I like his YouTube channel, I prefer his podcast because he gets into detail on things. What else do I listen to? I listen to Punk's podcast, What the Fuck Do You Want? Which just makes me giggle every Monday.
Do you know what I do like about Punk's podcast? And when you said it, like, podcast is the perfect little nugget, half an hour to get up, have a shit, have a shave, brush your teeth, and get out. By the time you're out of the house, it's done. And it's perfect for that. He's my walk to the gym podcast. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I'm on that.
Yeah,
I am blowing his trumpet, but
I'm pretty sure the next episode when this comes out, it's my episode.
That's probably its downfall. I'm joking.
What else was there? Like Dungeon Dads, who we had on here, Dungeons and Daddies as well.
Top lads.
Like I was talking with Robotic Monkey about Dungeons and Daddies the other day because they did a thing in their campaign which had me in pain laughing. It was so funny. And if I hadn't just that day at work, if I hadn't gotten that bored and sat and listened to TCGS for the first time, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be in the situation. Like, to kind of blow smoke up our own asses out of this, like, this has given me something to do and to focus on during lockdown, during a really hard year. And I'm the kind of person that I'm a very much a doomsayer. Like, my brain always goes to the negative side of things. So I became very obsessed with this podcast really early, which is why I edit it the way I do. The reason why I kind of pushed us to get bigger faster.
And the way you taught Stig as well.
And the way I taught Stig and stuff like that. And because that kept me sane when we were in like the 8th or 9th month of lockdown, and I was actually really starting to be negatively affected by it. And the whole idea of a modern escapism podcast was so that, we could talk about things that weren't COVID, because at that time in the year, every conversation, whether it was colleagues, friends, relatives, whatever, everyone was talking about how sick they were of COVID or how sick they were of the government.
This is actually the third time we've ever mentioned that word on the podcast.
Exactly, yeah.
It was unprecedented.
Yeah, but like this has been my therapy, and podcasting and other people's podcasts have been my therapy. So yeah, my favorite thing in the world at the minute is podcasts.
It's good to be in the scene as well, because like I like the British resurgence of podcasting, because it started obviously when I started listening to Ricky Gervais. Like, I got an iPod to listen to it, and then the second season you had to pay for it. I still did, and then the resurgence, it just jumped right over to the US, and the US was dominating it. And in the past, like, I don't know, 5-6 years, British scenes come right back, and now we're leading most of it now, I think. There's a massive British scene of it, and it's so nice to see. And like when our social media manager Stig, he's liaison with loads of different podcast up and comers and people that are massive, and it's so nice to see.
Yeah,
it's brilliant.
I found loads of new podcasts from doing that, like some really, really good ones. So much so that those ones that I kind of started out listening to several years ago, like, are just fallen by the wayside. And I know they're not small podcasts or anything, it is stuff just like Commode and Mayo, which I still enjoy listening to, but they aren't my first go-to now on a Friday or a Saturday, or when that podcast drops. It's other ones, and especially like the little indie ones. There's so many great indie podcasts out there that if you find something that sounds like your niche, just jump on it and give it a go, because it doesn't have to be presented by a celebrity. It doesn't have to be a BBC a BBC production. There's so many great podcasts out there that find something you like and give it a listen.
Yeah, well, I mean,
we've had lots of support, haven't we? And we met on a podcast. We started our own podcast, and now people that listen to us are starting their podcast.
Yeah.
So we're trying to support and share them as well, because that's what it's all about. You've got Angry Kurt with his Never Watchers, with Pete.
Oh, so good.
You've got Debbie Punk, you've already mentioned, doing his.
A load in our community are doing their own podcast, and they're all excellent.
Yeah.
Nimrod's just mentioned Chet and John's. Don't. That's just a dagger to my heart. That Nimrod. Good. I love that podcast.
It's nice. I liked doing my old podcast before this one, but there was only me and Bobby that wanted to do it. It was very difficult to get us together. So shooting that was killing that, firing squad in that was the best. And then me popping up in TCGS and just saying, "Come on, somebody help!" And it just happened.
Yeah.
And luckily, someone had an ear for sound. Thank fuck.
But the last thing I'll say on it is just like from the community. From our community, like they've put me onto podcasts as well. So like, if it wasn't for Kurt and Doomican talking about it, I wouldn't have started listening to the Back Page.
Yeah, the Back Page is really good. Which
is a fantastic gaming podcast. Same if Punk didn't shut up about them, I wouldn't have started listening to Filthy Casuals. There was Snugcast, which Stig guested on.
Yeah.
God is a Geek. That's a really good one.
God is a Geek. That's a great one. I can't remember who mentioned it. I don't know if it was actually for our community or another one, but the Arcanery, which is a D&D one I listen to, which is like a DM tips one.
You need that.
I
does
am going
not.
to kill treble in the next episode. And I think I can't remember whether it was our community or whether it was the old TCGS one that we were in together, but the Darknet Diaries. Like that's absolutely
TCGS,
great tech
that one.
podcast. But yeah, that was absolutely great tech podcast. So yeah, I just fucking love podcasting. This is this is my favorite thing. I mean, even when it gets irritating, even when I'm spending like fucking 6 to 8 hours editing an episode, it's still fun.
Yeah.
Even editing out every single one of Oodles is.
What?
Yeah,
I
never noticed that before, but now I will.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah, like I
Fuck off.
like I said, I did our Patreon special today, and I just spent time looking for I want an intro song for our Q&A. So found the one. I'm going to use this one from that one. So when people load up and hear that, they know it's the Q&A one.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and then I'm like, right. So what can I lead this one out with? What song can I find that fits? And
Oh, it's great fun finding stuff like that, like stupid clips or anything like that. Especially now that we do the Patreon thing, and for people who aren't patrons, at the end of each episode, after the Patreon section, I don't end it with the theme tune. I end it with just a random song.
Yeah.
Had,
When we meet the patrons round the back for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, there was one where in the Patreon bit we talked about football a lot, so I ended it with fucking Fat Les.
Yeah, that's right.
Perfect.
got
So
me
good.
pumped.
I keep trying to find the strangest songs that I can end things on.
I liked what I chose today. It fits something that.
Brilliant. I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to everyone in the Patreon hearing the Q&A, because I was a laugh, that wasn't it?
Oh yeah,
They always are a laugh, them ones. So yeah, we'll move on. Same order. It's me now. So I really struggled to think of favorite thing. So I just had to go with my heart, and this is going to be quite soppy now. So my favorite thing is booze. You have got me on a very, very rare non-booze day. The reason I'm not drinking booze today is because of booze. Yesterday, I am extremely hungover, which I usually am, or drunk. And Gadget does a really great job of editing it, so I'm less drunk, or more drunk sometimes.
Yeah, listeners and viewers, you're seeing how shit he is right now.
Oh God, I'm terrible. I've never been good.
And you wonder where all the Easter eggs of him come from.
To see all the pre-podcast.
What was that Easter egg I put in a couple of weeks ago? They'll never know I'm drunk.
It's when we normally doing it. We're like when we like syncing his audio and stuff, and I'm like, oh, and then it's like, let's go. I'm like, hello, and I'm just back in the room. It's crazy.
Sneaky, don't encourage him. Sneaky saying, "Fuck yes," more respect for Oodles.
Yes.
But to be fair, Sneaky is a small Geordie man that drinks like he wants to die.
I also have a drinking problem, usually when I run out. But yeah.
I'm about to run out, actually.
I'm basically, I mean, if we weren't live, I would be running down to get more booze because I'm talking about booze. But let's not, I am hungover. So I just want to talk about my favourite booze, like boozers or drinks.
Soup?
Soup is up there, but it started Dragon Soup. If you don't know what that is, it's extremely strong energy drink. I have been on it out countless times when we record these shows. It's become a silly thing between us. Like, I'm back and forth with PR at Dragon Soup now. We're best friends.
I was going to say, we're so close to being sponsored by them.
Yeah.
I'm totally looking to do our Christmas special on the soup.
Oh, we are going to be on the soup song.
No one sells it locally to me, though, so I might have to organise for you to get some sent.
I'll just bring some up, mate. I'll bring some. Don't you worry about it. I will soup everyone. But yeah, that's one of my favourites. It's 7.58% ish drink. It's super strong. It knocks your fucking ass off, and it's brilliant. You only need about 4 cans, and you're away. But another new drink I've really got into. It's called Sunset Rum. Have we got any rum drinkers in here tonight? Because I do like a rum.
A good rum, a spice rum. I like a spice rum.
Yeah. So
with ginger beer.
Oh yeah, rum and ginger beer is amazing. So this rum is a product of St. Vincent Distillers and is a winner of World's Best Overproof Rum. Now, overproof means it's really strong. It's 84.5%.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I had some of this last night.
Good Lord.
Whew. So like I said, it's 84.5%. Sunset rum is so strong that the label on the bottle recommends that you drink it with a mixer because not only can this rum cause burning sensations, but can actually cause burns. So,
I mean, I'm
Coming out.
oh yeah, going in and out. So
I mean, I'm pretty sure what Candy uses to clean down her workstation at the tattoo shop is not as strong as that.
Yeah, send some down.
It's really good. I recommend it. It's quite expensive. It's about £50 a bottle, but it's one of them that you just have a few and you're fucked.
I was
A few. I'd just look at it and I'd be fucked.
on my cruise ship day. Somebody bought a bottle of I think it was Bacardi Spice Rum. It was in that sort of gold,
Yeah, they've got some really strong
dark-coloured
Bacardi.
bottle. And this guy was drinking it from the bottle that's sort of being passed around. And someone accidentally bumped him as he was drinking it, and he poured it into his eye. And I've never heard a man scream so loud.
Oh, I felt that as well.
Yeah, we had to get bottles of water and just pour it because a lot of the crew
burning it.
cabins had water. Yeah, we were just trying to wash that eye out. It's
not like vodka that they used to use for like medicine and stuff. Some rums are fucking bastards.
It's like that character in Kevin and Perry,
Eyeball
Paul.
Eyeball Paul. The fucking eyeball comes out at the end.
A new one that I'm really into is called Dragon Stout. It's actually the only place I've seen it is Asda, and you know I like a stout. It's a Jamaican stout as well. It's really nice, and as usual, quite strong, about 7%. You know I like a strong drink. That's really really flavourful. It's really barley taste to it. Quite sweet as well. You've got that coffee aftertaste that you want with a good stout. That's a really good one. Does anyone else drink stout here?
I can have.
I was born on
stout.
St. Patrick's Day, so I always have one.
I tried
that's
some when actually when I guested on Snubcast. I had a crate of our local brewery.
Yeah,
and that had a few stouts in, which I actually really liked. They had a milk stout in there and something else which I can't remember the name of. And I actually really liked them because for the longest time I was always a bit like it was a bit too much for me.
Too rich.
Yeah, but I do kind of enjoy trying new things. Sometimes it doesn't always work out, sometimes it does. But yeah, I'm very much into trying, like grabbing a different kind of drink.
Some craft
from
stouts
the supermarket now and try something.
Yeah, try milk stout because I think it's a good in between. Really, it's still nice and creamy.
I'm not a fan of a milk stout. I've had a chocolate stout before that was really nice.
Oh yeah, they can be really good.
But they're, super rich. Like you can have one and then you go into a diabetic coma.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the problem with Guinness, for example. It can just fill you up quite quickly. It's very heavy.
Oh,
I
yeah,
guess
it's like
most stouts are similar.
Drinking a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
But yeah, my favourite all-time stout is Aslan's Brewery, Satan's Airport. It's called. It's huge, big bottle, sweet, malty richness. It's got that coffee aftertaste. Just oh god, you get raisin, caramel, toffee. It's so fucking good, but it's so expensive. It's like £14 a bottle, and it's only a normal stout size bottle. But it's so incredible. And now I'm gonna reel off a few of my cheap beers for the less connoisseur or less alcoholic.
I do like how your favorite drink is called Satan's.
Satan's
very on brand.
Absolutely. The favourite cheap beers that you can just get anywhere for cheap is Birra Moretti. Lovely beer.
Yeah,
that's what I'm drinking.
Yeah, I think it's sensational.
Exactly.
Especially
if I go
£5.50 for 4 bottles.
If I go into a pub and I'm in the mood for beer, it's a Moretti that I'll go for.
Yeah, out of the tap, it's incredible for a cheap drink.
Yeah, like you walk in it's maybe like 50 pence more expensive than a Foster's or a Carling.
Yeah.
But you don't get that chemically taste. You don't get that watery taste that you get.
It doesn't smell of weed.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like a proper lager.
Yeah, it's really nice. Sorry for the Irish listeners, cover your ears. I like a Guinness, even in England, a proper pod Guinness where it's left to do its Guinness thing.
It's so different in Ireland.
I was going to say it doesn't travel as
way better.
It's
it doesn't travel.
Absolutely incredible.
You should follow a Twitter page called Shit London Guinnesses.
Oh god, yeah.
And it's all it is just pictures of like people just pouring really shit Guinnesses or pouring them in glasses that don't suit a Guinness.
Can't you remember, Stig? You might not remember because you were a bit stigged as well. When we went to EGX Resd, and I got that Guinness in that expensive pub that I was fuming about, like nearly like £9 a pint. And he just gave me the head was that fucking high on. What to do with that? Fucking shocking. And my other go-to is Effa's Pilsner. It's absolute classic Turkish Pilsner. Oh, for a cheap beer, it's incredible.
Robotic Monkeys come in with a strong look for a cheap one. Cheap French stubbies from the supermarket.
Oh, like Starburg and stuff.
Yeah.
It's been a long
Classic,
time
the
since I had a
Stubbies.
Or
24 pack.
What's the one that my dad always used to get? It was called Le Bière Français. That's literally what it was called.
Really
The
good.
French beer.
No, Stubbies, and someone argue with me because you won't be able to, but Stubbies, like a big frozen, well, you put them in a swimming pool, a little paddling pool or something all day, at a barbecue, Stubbies, wow, you can have a full crate to yourself. It's incredible. Or I can, if you're an idiot. And finally, my favourite cocktail of all time. Now, I'm quite a fruity guy, and my favourite cocktails are Mai Tai.
Ooh.
Do we know what those are?
Yeah, good choice.
It's a cocktail based on rum, caraca liqueur, orgeat syrup, lime juice, and it's quintessential tiki cocktail. It's just a proper island cocktail. I love a Mai Tai. It's not very impressive when you're out there with your umbrellas and Mai Tai.
I fucking love cocktails.
No, but
if I'm in the mood for a cocktail,
the other week when I went
Long
around
Island
Leeds,
iced tea for me.
the men always buy the old fashioned because they think they're Don Draper. But it's like, get a fucking Mai Tai down, you boy.
Yeah, man.
Give me like a woo woo or a mojito.
Yeah, sex on the beach.
Margarita.
If you're going out on a Friday night after work, the best first drink you can get of the night is a espresso martini.
Oh,
God,
yeah.
Because it gives you that shot of caffeine. It tastes really nice and it gets you going.
Yeah.
And you move.
So before we move on, do we have your all individual favorite cocktails / drinks? What do we like?
So I'm a whiskey man. And I like neat single malt Scotch whiskey. I don't bother with ice. I've got some
Like a head teacher.
Yeah, I've got those metal balls that you put in the freezer.
Yeah.
So don't water down your whiskey.
Yeah.
And for me, it's stuff like I like Hague, which is not the best whiskey in the world, but it's a really nice whiskey.
Yeah.
Glenmorangie is my favourite. Glenlivet.
Yeah.
Lafrogue. Probably pronouncing that wrong. Lagavulin, if I can ever afford it.
I think it's
but that's
Lefroy,
very expensive. Lefroy, that sounds right.
I think so.
Yeah, I think it is.
I also like Bullet Bourbon, which is very different, but I can drink that one easily. I really like that.
It's more of a whiskey liqueur, that isn't it?
Yeah,
it's very weird taste.
Yeah, it goes down nicely though. Obviously, I'm drinking my normal everyday drink is a cider. Because
cider's an outsider drink. It's a good summer drink. You can't
it's really fucking hot in this
man.
room. It's nice. Well, yeah, that's the problem. It gives you a massive heartburn.
You're just like that in bed going, oh, fucking cider.
Yeah, and if I'm in the pub, it'll be a Moretti.
Yes, absolutely, Moretti. So, anybody else? What do you all like?
Yeah, I'm a cider. I'm a whiskey person. Oh, I do like some cider as well. But
She is a cider drinker. She drinks it all of the day.
I walked into that. Absolutely walked into it. But no, I like whiskey, and I like my sours. I like whiskey sours. I also really like 7 and 7 as well. If I want something that isn't quite so strong or a bit of a longer drink, which is usually there's various. It's normally it's. I normally have it with wild turkey and 7-Up, but I prefer it in America because the 7-Up over there is just incredible.
Yeah, because it's corn syrup in it.
I was going to say all sugar.
Exactly. Perfect. I've been absolutely blasted on those.
Same.
Or just a straight Jack Daniels as well, like 1 lump of ice. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't mind a Jack Daniels. I mean, a lot of whiskey drinkers are like, oh, that's not even whiskey. It's like, I'm getting fucked. Tastes good.
I only like Jack Daniels if it's with Pepsi Max. Like I can't even drink a Jack and Coke.
Wow.
But it's a very strange flavor, Jack Daniels. But it was one of those drinks that I got really, really drunk on really early on. Like I was like 16 or 17. And yeah, it was basically I was at a party at a friend's house, and one of the lads turned up with a bottle of Jack Daniels and a 2-litre bottle of Pepsi Max. He drank some of the Pepsi Max and just poured it in the bottle. It was fucking rocket fuel. We were all fucked by the time we got to the label. Like we were all
That's
like proper
lightweights.
That's
what I like to see. Stig, what you like?
I like whiskey, but unsurprisingly, I haven't drunk much this year.
No, I can't imagine why.
I wonder why. Here's an artist's impression of what happened.
It's more like, and then just off,
and he went off.
When you wearing that same T-shirt?
Yeah, I was.
He hasn't worn it since.
Speaking of which, like Christmas episodes, it was suggested earlier up in the chat that we should do that one live. I'm not really sure that's.
We're doing it
I
live.
think that's a good, especially if we're all drinking dragon soup.
I'm not drinking that much whiskey again. There's a full
No, we're having
bottle
soup.
nearly.
It's a soup Christmas.
Fucking hell. Anyway,
It's a very soupy Christmas.
I do like whiskey every now and again. I like smoky whiskies. So I like a Jura, and my dad got me a really nice Belveni.
I do like
Christmas.
a Belveni.
So that's really nice. I just like all sorts. Depends what the mood's taking me. Like the last couple of years, really got into gin. I've shown everyone our gin collection.
You have.
It went from about 6 bottles to now. There's probably about 40 different gin.
It's the one realm I've never delved
and...
down. I don't delve down the gin. I haven't been there yet.
It's so refreshing. Sometimes it's like it is just. And then if I'm having a crap day and I want to relax and sink into the sofa and relax,
he has a wank and a gin.
No,
Just like my grandma.
Whoa!
Oh, sorry, everyone.
absolute dirt. This one.
Oh, we've got a
this
podcast
episode.
title.
Yeah, agreed.
Just like grandma.
Grandma. Oh God,
It's gone.
this happens regularly, by the way.
Fuck me.
No,
Also, before you get started against Tig, Tig's put up a good point. Bowmore is very pity. You'll like that.
Okay,
And he's right. Bowmore is really fucking nice.
Yeah.
That was one of my 30th birthday presents. A nice big bottle of Bowmore. Didn't last long beyond the 30th birthday, but it was very good.
For time consciousness, one more Stig. What's your favourite cheap beer?
I don't know.
Foster's.
Probably a Stella.
Stella's good, man. Stella's good.
Stella's proper chemically. I hate it.
I like it. Right, Biggie. What's your drink? Go-to drinks.
Really simple for me. In the warmer months, it's cider, and
Yep.
then speckled hen in the winter months.
Speckled hen.
And any of them, golden hen, speckled hen, it's all good. It's the same with ciders. I like any Thatcher cider, any decent cider, I'll drink it. It's all good.
I bet you can sit and drink scrumpy in a paddling pool all day, can't you?
Maybe. And then I'd like to finish the evening off with a JD, but with Diet
And a
Coke
wank.
in a nice tall glass.
Yeah.
Lots of ice. I love it. Generally a double at least, sometimes a triple.
Quick, scroll through the chat. What are people into? What are they liking?
Kieran saying fucking love Stella. Tig saying cheap beer for me is San Miguel.
Yes, San Miguel. Good shout.
Enflem saying cider and JD.
Yeah. Not together, hopefully.
Well, you never know. Nimrod Hicks says Southern Comfort is the first drink I properly got hammered and hurled on. Can't even smell it now without retching.
If you listen to our Q&A, you'll know what I got first. What I first drank.
Sneaky saying Jack Daniels, rums, whiskey, very pure strong vodkas, and Moretti's for me.
Oh, Moretti's so good. It's cheap beers go. I think Moretti's king at the moment. It really is.
Good.
And people Tiggs pointed out Moretti Rosa is worth trying too, 7.5% and much darker.
Perfect. That's what I like to hear. Excellent. Thank you, chat. We will get back to you in a second, but now we're moving on to Candy.
I'm going to talk about a TV show that started in the very late 90s called Spaced.
Way.
Absolutely love it. One of my all-time favorite TV shows, and I still watch it now at least twice a year, I think. And it launched the careers of Jessica Hines and Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, and director Edgar Wright. The latter of the three went on to create the infamous Cornetto trilogy films. So you got Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and The World's End.
Yes.
As I said, it was released in 1999, it was kind of at the time where fandom was starting to be a bit more embraced as a more accepted subculture and wasn't just restricted to your sort of classic basement dwelling nerd. It's now Space, if you haven't heard of it or if you don't know what it is, Space is a cult comedy TV show and it ran for just 2 seasons in 1999 and 2001. It follows the lives of Tim and Daisy, who are a pair of friends who met as a chance encounter, and for the sake of renting this flat, they pretended to be a couple. Now the surrounding cast are kind of a motley crew of characters, and they all live in the apartment building, or they're friends of the main characters. So you've got Marsha, who's the drunken landlady.
Always fagging it as well.
Got fag on, hello, my name's Marsha.
That's a really good impression.
That's superb.
That's really good.
It's almost as if I practiced. She used to.
Hang on, give us an all right, Brian.
Hello, Brian.
Oh, well done.
I'm ready for the reboot.
Really good.
And if you don't remember, she actually used to be married to the drummer of Status Quo.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got Brian, who's the kind of creepy basement neighbor and struggling artist. Mike, who's Tim's military obsessed best friend who once stole a tank and invaded Paris.
Yeah. Yeah. God.
Now, what I love about Space and what keeps me watching it is in each stage of life, I've kind of related more and more to a different character. So as a young, bright-eyed candy machine as a teenager, I was Tim. So I was the computer game obsessed comic book artist. Then I went to college and became more like Brian
Stoner.
the Misfit. Brian, yeah, hated everyone, hated myself, just wanted to do my art, and I was too cool, man. Now, in my 20s, I was Daisy. So Daisy, nice but lazy. And now I've got to my mid-30s, and I think I relate mostly with Marsha. So I've got a glass of wine in my hand constantly.
When do you get your mic phase?
Oh, that hasn't kicked in yet. We'll see.
50s.
It's the Modern Escapism paintballing episode.
Yeah.
You shot me in the bollocks, Tim.
God, it's such a good show, man.
Oh,
It's
it's so
amazing
good.
show.
Like every episode is just it's basically a pop culture checklist, so both visually and within the script as well. And now as the years have gone by as well, whilst I've consumed more media, I find myself noticing more and more references. And I think that style carried over to Shaun of the Dead too. You've got all the zombie films like "Join us, they're coming to get you, Barbara." They're all famous zombie film quotes.
Yeah.
And it might be because I do watch it regularly, but I do think the show has aged quite well, despite it now being over 20 years old.
Yeah, I can't believe that.
Yeah, I think it does, yeah.
Yeah, I think the only real clue, obviously it's filmed in a 16:9, but it would be Tim playing his original PlayStation.
Yeah, playing Resident Evil 2.
Yeah.
Oh, when he falls asleep and then wakes up and he's like, "Way!" Carries on.
He did too much speed, didn't he, the night
Yeah.
before, and he stayed up.
We've
all
all
night.
been there.
Yeah.
All been there. It's also pretty unproblematic as well. Like, given a lot of other comedies that came out around
Everything's
the
problematic.
same. Yeah, a lot of the other comedies came around at the same time. By today's standards, obviously, have been deemed inappropriate, and rightly so in a lot of cases. But it is proof that comedy can be funny without just insulting people.
Yeah.
And the unlikely friendship that kind of forms between the characters as well, like particularly Tim and Daisy's, it's just really heartwarming, and it's just a nice little story wrapped up in a comedy. Now, my all-time favorite episode, and it's just my absolute favorite piece of media ever. It's an episode from series 2, and it's called Gone. It involved Tim and Daisy going out on the piss in Camden.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Daisy inadvertently giving a gang of youths a bag of oregano, if you want to call it, instead of weed. And if you have seen Spaced, it's the one with the slow motion gunfight. So
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
just every part of that episode is just absolutely perfect. And if you do watch just one episode of Space, please make it that one. I remember sitting down on a Friday night and watching it with my mum, and it was on a really prime slot as well. It's Friday night, Channel 4, and it was in between Friends and Frasier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 9:30 or something like that, wasn't it?
That's right, which is unbelievable in itself, really. And I remember my mum and I just in absolute tears of laughter watching this one episode. But yeah, that's a good point. Like, speaking of which, I can't imagine any comedy, let alone a sort of relatively new indie comedy, that would have that kind of time slot or TV slot again. Most of them are shown on the sort of the digital channels, aren't they? Like
the only one I can
BBC4.
think of in the last several years has been Friday Night Dinner.
Yeah, and that's quite culty actually.
It's got
isn't
like
it?
half the same cast as well, because Mark Keep's in that.
Yeah,
one,
Brian.
and-
Yeah, he is.
Right.
He's
Yeah.
just so good at playing weird characters.
Yeah, I expect
Shalom,
probably a bit of art
Jackie.
imitating life there.
Yeah.
With Spaced, I always loved how stacked the gags were. Like there's so many ones that just kind of, you don't notice them at first. You think it's just a little funny aside, but then when you go back, you realize how smart it is.
Yeah.
There's two that always stick out to me. First one's in the very first episode when it's Tim and Daisy getting to know each other, and Daisy mentioned something about Tim regularly masturbates to Gillian Anderson.
Yes.
She was
we've all been there.
Well, but his response is she was FHM sexiest woman in the world in 1997. And she says, "What about you?" She says, "I wasn't placed," because she's trying to move the conversation up. And the other one is the on the video gaming episode, the Resident Evil episode where Mike is on the phone. He says, "Tim, I'm in Sheffield. How did he get to Sheffield? I fell asleep on the tube. The tube doesn't go to Sheffield. I must have changed to King's Cross."
That episode's really good because they actually do the script from Resident Evil, don't they? Where you go, split up, look for any survivors, and get out of here.
Yeah. And like stuff like even like they use the music from the police station and as the credits come across.
Yeah, there's also that episode that haunted me with when it was David Walliams in that gimp suit.
Same episode.
Yeah.
I forgot. Yeah, David Walliams and Ricky Gervais is in it as well, very briefly.
Yeah. It's
Vulva.
really good space. Vulva, that's it. Oh god! And he used to date her or something, didn't he?
Yeah, they used to Brian.
Yeah, God, he's so good.
Again, that's
as well.
Yeah, again, that's another one of those kind of throwaway stacked gag lines. It's like, what did we do last night? Well, we went to a pretentious art show. You got drunk off your arse. You ate a load of Twiglets and you punched a pretentious artist in the face. Oh God, why did I do that? I'm not allowed to eat Pringles. I'm not allowed to eat Twiglets.
Make me violent.
Yeah.
You're so good at remembering quotes, Gadget. I've noticed.
That's all he does.
Absolutely brilliant.
If it's something that I love, even if I don't get the precise, even if I'm paraphrasing it, I'll remember the quotes. Like, I like Candy. I watch Spaced all the time. I fucking love it.
I haven't seen it in years, but I remember when I watched it a few years ago. I think my son was alive, so within the last 8 and 9 years, however old he is. Yeah, I did say that. However old he is, I watched it then, and it still held up then. I just like it. It's just so good, and it's a world away from what Simon Pegg is now, isn't it? Really, it's like
Mr. Hollywood now.
Yeah,
Mr. Mission Impossible.
Yeah, he's that guy in
that's
Mission Impossible.
the reason why I think Shaun of the Dead works as well, because you've already got the chemistry that you've got in space between Nick Frost and Simon Pegg, and they're actually friends in real life. And then you see Shaun of the Dead, and it just carried on. It's such a good movie, and all 3 Cornetto movies are really good.
Yeah.
As well.
World's Ends.
I like
that one's good. It's all right, but it's nowhere near as good as the other. But I listened to a podcast the other day, and we were talking about Hot Fuzz, obviously recounting it, doing quotes, and I just sat there giggling away. I think
Hot Fuzz
just
is the best
them recounting and saying the quotes and saying what happened just reminded me how fucking good it. Yeah, Hot Fuzz is definitely my favorite.
It's the best out of the 3. Massive margin.
When me and Pip first started dating, I remember she was telling her friends about me. Like, she was on a phone call with her friends, and her description of me was, he's a nice guy, he wears glasses, and he's got a great big bushy beard.
Spot on, really.
But
yeah, for me, no comedy. It's really, has ever spoken to me as hard as Space did. Still quote it constantly, evidently, and I think nearly all people my age will get references. And it sounds corny to say, but I do think it kind of shaped me as a person because it came to me at just the right age.
That's so corny to say.
So corny. But I was 12 or 13 when it was first released, so it taught me that I could embrace my enjoyment of video games and pop culture and not be seen as an outcast, really.
Yeah, I really
it hit me at that same age as well.
What was the sketch show they did before that Simon Pegg was on?
Big Train.
That's also really good as well.
That is very funny.
Really
Kieran
funny.
just said something great in the chat. Said, I love that Tim in Space said that every odd-numbered Star Trek was shit, and then Pegg was in an odd-numbered Star Trek.
He was.
I think he directed
Which was the worst out of the 3.
No, he wrote the 3rd one.
That's it. Sorry, you wrote it, didn't he?
Star Trek Beyond, was it, or something like that?
Yeah,
I've only seen
they're not very good one.
Anything from that one?
What I do remember is there was a lot more Scotty in it.
Yeah,
if you're going to write it, you're going to write yourself in it.
Surprised.
Excellent.
Whoa, hang on a second. Robotic Monkey is saying in the chat here, Babylon 5 was shit. We need to have a discussion about this. We can't be having slander such as that.
Babylon 5 was a big pile of shit.
How dare
It's
he?
a space quote.
It is a space quote.
I once punched a man for saying Kroll was rubbish.
I mean, it's
Excellent.
Vic
Good
Krill's
choice.
rubbish.
Good choice with Spaced. Absolutely. If you've never watched it and you're listening to this, just watch it. I think it's on all four, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It usually is. I'm pretty sure Channel 4 own it.
Yeah. So excellent. Stig, what are you bringing to the table?
I would like to talk about one Arnold Schwarzenegger, specifically the 1984 to 1994 years.
Oh, the gold.
10 years.
The peak years.
When he was the governor in the US.
The golden years of Arnold Schwarzenegger, the greatest action hero of all time, in my opinion. And this 1994 run has a couple of duffers in there, but in the whole, it is an amazing 10 years. You start out with the Terminator, then he does Red Sonja, Commando, Raw Deal, Predator, The Running Man, Red Heat, Twins, Total Recall, Kindergarten Cop, Terminator 2, Last Action Hero, and True Lies.
Oh, love True Lies.
How many films was that?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Film a
6,
year, wasn't
7,
it?
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 in 10
Yeah,
years.
oh, yeah,
God.
pretty much.
I mean,
That's a
he was
film.
from Conan, the first Conan. He's pumping out a film like every couple of
Every
films
6
a year,
months.
nearly. Yeah, it's
Wow.
just
Well,
he's just,
that was in those days where you could do a film in 3 months, or at
Yeah.
least do the
Yeah,
principal
probably.
photography for a film in 3
There
months.
was-
Like
a
I've
lot of
seen
special
Conan.
effects.
It's all in one blood soundstage, isn't it? Conan. It's,
Well, yeah. It's like the films that they have nowadays. Like like it takes them like a year to make an Avengers film because of all the constant setups and reshoots and stuff like that. Whereas when they're doing those kind of 80s action films, it's just like, right, do it as quickly and cheaply as possible. That's how they made
Everything's
so
gonna be
much
set-
money because the fucking
everything's
spent
set in
out
Los
on them.
Angeles.
Yeah.
So when I mentioned earlier that I watched a couple of films, this was a couple of films here. There was a couple of blind spots I'd not seen. I'd not seen Red Heat, so I watched that this week.
So
don't know how I'd not watched Red Heat. I really enjoyed that.
There are things. A lot of asses at the beginning, isn't there?
A lot. It's a really weird opening scene.
It is very
It just
weird.
feels like
A lot of man ass.
it feels like there's like, right, Arnold's going to be dressed most of this film, so
Homoerotic.
let's just put this scene of him in a Turkish bath fighting other muscular men, just so we can see his body.
Yeah.
And I also watched Conan, which I know is not in this run, but I wanted to watch the film that kind of started it all. It's a bit shit.
Yeah, Conan's
No,
crap.
no. It's very shit.
Yeah, Conan's crap. Red Sonja's better than Conan.
It's iconic, but it's very shit. It's in the same way that, like, you look at like 90s video games. It's just like, yeah, they're actually a bit shit, but they were pretty good for the day.
Yeah.
It's a bit like a music video, if I remember now.
It's
Conan
got a weird
just moves
pace.
from
Lots
one
of
place
greased
to
up
another
posing.
with nothing really happening. Like,
yeah,
it just
got weird pacing.
it's got really weird pacing. Anyway, so I think his career basically kind of hit its stride with the Terminator, and obviously we talked about those last week, so I don't really want to get too much into the Terminator films. I want to talk about more like him and the other films that he did. So I just think he's brilliant. Like, he's got such great
Range.
expressional. But he doesn't have great range. That's the thing. He's not a great actor, but the parts that he plays them so well. He's got such a great
physical presence.
expressional face. Yeah, he's an amazing physique with a great presence, and he's got natural charisma.
Yeah.
And he was told that he would never be a leading man because of his accent and because he was too big. And that 10 years and those films basically prove everyone wrong that told him that.
He's got a lot of heart, I think, as well as an actor. You get some warmth. You get warmth from him.
Yeah,
and not so much like Terminator, but
I think he was.
I'll be back with flowers.
Yeah,
I think he was kind of fortunate at the time that he did Conan. Like, that was when Sylvester Stallone was starting to get a lot of action films as well, and
Stallone won an Oscar though with Rocky, didn't he? He came out with Punch.
Well, yeah, but Rocky in itself is not an action film; it's a drama.
Yeah, that's true.
Whereas, like in the 80s,
Rambo, isn't it?
Stallone started with Rambo, where he had a similar physique. And it's like, and like if it weren't for Sylvester Stallone getting as big as he did physically and in the box office, I don't think Arnie could have done that. I think like Arnie kind of rode on those coattails slightly, and that's how this 80s style of big bulked up action heroes started.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, you also had like Jean-Claude Van Damme around the same time.
Well, yeah, exactly, yeah.
So you had those three as like your big, like,
and then Steven
men.
Seagal at the back end of it.
Yeah, like your lesser Saint Seagal.
Look at my hands.
You know, they were ripped, but they were tall guys with. You had some muscle like your Kurt Russells and things like that. So
Chuck Norris.
because your 60s and 70s action heroes were just kind of normal guys, and then the 80s was like, and the early 90s was like, this is the muscle men. But yeah, like we talked about the Terminator. That's just an amazing film. It's just shot so well lit, written, directed amazingly. Last week, I noticed actually that we said that we didn't think it had done that well. It actually did. It was listed as it was in the top 10 movie of the year for most people.
Said that.
It's not like us to be wrong.
It didn't have a drop in the box office for several weeks.
Wow.
I
I was always of the
Thinking
mind
you knew that
like,
because you were
like
there
a cult.
as an adult.
Yeah.
I was always of the mind that it was a bit of a cult hit because it was so long between the first film and the second film.
Yeah, same.
No, but I think that's just Cameron like making sure he had the right script and the right idea, because
He
obviously
did the
he comes
Abyss
back
and stuff, didn't he?
with the different spin. Now obviously the Protector is the now he's the Protector, and we've got some Hasta La Vista line
Spoiler
in
alert.
there and stuff like. Well, I mean, yeah, these are spoiler up for these films I'm going to talk about, but
35-year-old
Arnie
films.
yeah. But yeah, in that what we've got Predator. The Predator for me is Arnie's best film.
Yeah, I agree.
No,
Well, I
love it.
disagree.
I love it. But
But I
don't
think
it's the best.
I just don't think there's a wasted moment in that film.
Yeah, I love it.
It's John McTiernan's second ever film. He'd only directed one before that, and he managed to get so much action out of the film where you only see the Predator right at the end.
Yeah, that's true. That's
one
really
of the
clever.
best things about that film is
It's
less is more.
It's the same with the first Alien film that you don't see it until the last 90
Jaws.
seconds.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's about like the build up. Yeah, like Jaws, you only get glimpses of it every now and again, and then it attacks the boat, and that's the bit where you see the shark properly. But yeah, and the stick around was ad-libbed by Arnie.
Yeah.
You're one ugly motherfucker. That was ad-libbed by Arnie. None of these were in the
Dylan,
script.
see the CIA got you pushing too many pencils.
You son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch.
Where was he from?
Yorkshire, I think.
North Wales, by the sound of it.
Yeah. Sneaky's just put in our chat here, John Claude Van Damme was the original Predator. Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, he was, but he looked weird, didn't he?
And they had like a
weird
really
mask.
awful design as
Costume.
well.
It's so funny. You have to see the
Crap,
clip.
innit?
It's awful.
You have to see that clip. It's
so
amazing.
glad they went a different direction with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so what we've got the action films in that run. We've got Total Recall, True Lies, The Running Man, and Commando. And I fucking love Commando.
I think True Lies is his best film. That's my favourite.
No, that's
I
the
love
one.
True
That
Lies.
is the one out of the lot that's dated the worst.
I adore that.
And that's-
I don't know. Commando has dated so
No,
poorly.
John Matrix.
when it comes to like modern standards,
Yes.
in the way that
He's not wrong. He's
women
not wrong.
are portrayed and
Well,
the
yeah,
way
okay,
that
yeah,
people from
yeah.
certain countries are portrayed. That is why we never got True Lies 2, because Cameron said, I can't do that kind of film in this modern.
Jamie Lee Curtis in True Lies was
world.
incredible.
Oh yeah, she was great. True Lies is just.
I just love it.
I just love these films. Like even down to when he started to do comedy.
So
Yeah.
Nimrod's saying he's never seen Commando. So I'm
Oh,
assuming
God.
here he doesn't know what the Commando baddie looks like. What's his name?
Oh, so Commando Buddy is
Freddie
called-
Mercury.
So can you imagine Arnold Schwarzenegger, 1985, peak physical perfection, massive. And like there are scenes of him. There is literally a scene of him gearing up before he goes and takes on the compound, and it's just
like
like
this with the
he's like he's strapping everything on like that, and it's just like muscles on muscles. Like he's just this is Arnie, and the bad guy is a
Bennett.
fat Freddie Mercury
with chainmail on.
with a chainmail vest on.
Hex, I'm just going to show you on the screen.
Let off some steam, Bennett.
But yeah, True Lies does stand up now, but it's just the type of stuff going
Look at
on
the
in the
state
film
of this
is
guy.
not aged as well. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Can you believe? Like, look at that. Right, click on that picture next to Arnie of him next to Arnie, the black and white one. How can you compare? These guys are meant to be in the same like mercenary unit. Like they just don't compare. Like
It's a stunt double.
I like it when he's got
It's the
Sully
shit
by his
chainmail.
ankle. When he's got Sully by his ankle, he's like, "Remember when I told you I'd kill you last? I lied."
yeah, drops him, and then he goes back to the woman at the car. He's like, "Where's Sully?" And he's like, "I let him go."
Do you recognise the actor though? For those that may not be so au fait with who he is,
No.
he's from Mad Max 2. He's the villain in Mad Max 2.
Fuck. Is that why he's Australian in that as
He
well,
is,
isn't he?
yeah.
Look at that look on his face.
I don't need the gun, John. I don't need the gun.
Don't need the gun, John. Don't need the gun. Oh god, it's so fucking good.
I
Matrix.
I absolutely love Commando because it's just so over the top. It is literally just Arnie shooting guns, his muscles out,
Rocket
and
launchers.
one-liners everywhere. When he has that fight in the motel, he's like, "I eat green berets for breakfast."
Yeah.
Right now, I'm very hungry.
He pushes him through a wall, doesn't he?
Yeah. Actually,
So
watch that scene when he pushes him through the wall. The way that couple are as well. There's something going on there.
The shagging.
No, I mean the way that they're positioned.
Yes.
It looks like she's pegging him.
Oh God. That's aged wonderfully.
Yeah, but
Sandbone Soul says just that bit at the beginning when he's carrying the fucking oak tree on his shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hasn't he got his daughter on one arm? And
No,
on the other arm?
he's just carrying an oak tree, and the next scene is like him eating ice cream with his daughter. And
No, he's got a house in the other arm.
Yeah.
But like
good.
he went on. Obviously, he did these action films like Predator, Total Recall. Again, I love Total Recall. It's got great director. It's got great premise.
Wish I had free hands.
It cost 55 million and topped out at around 260. And
Pneumatics has asked what is pegging. Google it
Google
on a
it.
VPN.
I'll show you
Yeah.
later.
And I just I love the Total Recall isn't just it is a mindless action film, but it leaves you guessing
What is
because
it?
right at the end it fades out to white and it
Yes.
leaves you guessing.
Yes.
It's got a very open ending and it's not as simple as it seems. But again, it's full of Arnie one-liners like just I see you at the party, Richter. As
I'll
he's,
get you
drops
after
him off the-
Mars.
Yeah. And I love this quote from Arnie. He said, "They tried to copy it. Someone tried to make a remake of it. How stupid is that?"
Yeah.
I mean,
Totally agree.
the Total Recall remake was dreadful.
Yeah, and he was
I
right.
watched it. I never watched it.
I mean,
But
Colin Farrell did as best he could with what they did, but it was
It's got
yeah.
a couple of
not
bits in
right.
it that are good, but
But
it's
isn't Colin
awful.
Farrell's more close to the source? To the source
Yes.
I've heard
material?
that.
Yeah, like if you haven't seen the Arnie film and you've read the book, the original book that it's based on, then the Colin Farrell one is technically the better film, but it's not as entertaining as
It's
the
not
Arnie
fun,
film.
is it?
No.
Yeah, I've heard.
But to be fair, the book
Garbage.
isn't fun. The book isn't
No.
fun. It's not supposed to be.
The best thing about Arnie films, they are fun.
Yeah.
They're stupid and over the top. Not all of them. Terminator is like kind of away from that.
Yeah, it's
But
understated.
Commando and True Lies and The Running
Last
Man
Action Hero.
and Last Action Hero is underrated to
It's
fuck.
clever. It's very clever, that film.
Yeah, and I love the part where he's like trying to convince him. He's like, "You played the greatest like action hero of all time." Look, he takes him to a video stall and it's got Stallone dressed as the T-800.
Don't they have like? Doesn't he mention there's like President Schwarzenegger or President Stallone or something like that in that?
No, the
No,
T-
you're thinking of oh fuck me,
Demolition
Demolition
Man.
Man. That's it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's a different film.
You see, my favorite Arnie film. It's the one that no one ever seems to reference, but I fucking love Jingle All the Way, and I watch it every
Jingle All the
year
Way's great.
because it's a different side to Arnie, but he still gets to be a little bit of the action hero with it.
Turbo Man.
But
I think Jingle All the Way has had a resurgence
I like
recently.
I
over
like when
it came
Arnie
out.
does comedy because I think he's a very funny guy.
Who's
Because
your daddy
yes,
and what does he do?
he's very deadpan. But just naturally, he's a very deadpan man. But he's also like, if you watch like any of his live streams or any of his YouTube videos, or anything where he's talking politics or whatever, he's incredibly charming and endearing. And I think he comes across well with that with in Jingle All the Way. Like that works for how he presents himself. And also, I just like seeing him fucking fighting with Sinbad in a shopping mall. That's hysterical. I watch it every year. It's like one of my guaranteed Christmas films. And
It's got thingy in it. Who was Lionel Hutz? What's his name? Oh,
Phil Hartman.
Phil Hartman. Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Phil Hartman. God.
And but I was going to jump on that. It's comedy. I like Twins and I like Kindergarten Cop. Like
Yeah.
they act like
It's not
Kindergarten
a
Cop
tumor.
isn't a great film, but there's parts of it that I really like, and it's the comedy aspect of it. But Twins, I love Twins. I love the concept of they took all the good stuff and put it into this one man, and they took all the shit stuff that was left over, and they made Danny DeVito.
He's got a great relationship with Danny DeVito in that film as well. Like the two of them like work really well together. I'd love to see
Yeah.
them do another film.
But they did Junior as well, but Junior's all right, but not as good. It's fun, but not as good. It's
I always confused me as a kid that because I thought you were pooing baby out.
yeah.
Noodles.
I didn't know I were a kid. I didn't know how we were going to
I
have it.
don't know how it's It's an odd
I know
one.
he has a cesarean. I'm not stupid now.
Like,
but
I
then
don't remember
thought he was
much
pulling the
about
baby
Junior,
out.
but not like don't remember liking it that much. To be
No,
honest, but
it's shite. It's fucking
Yeah.
awful.
I've not watched it in a long time. So I've probably got
Junior's the Arnie downturn.
94. True Lies is the kind of ending. He had that 10. He's got that 10-year run, and then it's the downfall up
He did
until
the
he
Equalizer, didn't he? That was good.
Equalizer's okay.
Your luggage.
The Sixth Day has a few good ideas in
No,
it,
it
but
doesn't.
like
End of Days.
End of Days, I did.
Fun idea in it, like him not realizing and stuff like that. Like there's a few things I liked about that, but then yeah, it's the True Lies is the definite downfall of him, and it's just kind of like he's not really bothering anymore, and then it was more bothered about getting into politics and stuff. So
The
yeah,
Governator.
he's just he is the king of one-liners, isn't he? Like everyone can quote a Narnia one-liner.
Yeah.
Can't say that about everyone else, and I just
My favourite one from Total Recall.
oh, I tell you what, he does some spectacular in Conan in that first fight scene in the pit. He's getting bitten by the other fighter, and he's like,
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
He's same in Red Sonja. You need to see Red Sonja next. Oh, God,
I'm gonna catch up because I know that Raw Deal. I've not seen that one as well. That's on,
Raw Deal, so fucking good.
that's on Netflix as well. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of working my way through the ones I've not seen, but the ones I have seen, obviously, I absolutely love, and just Arnold Schwarzenegger's 10-year career between those years, just untouched in action. I think
He's all right in
Like, as
Expendables,
a
but he's only in it for 2 minutes, isn't he?
actor.
It's not an Expendables for long.
that
Proper dick waving competition, that film, though,
No,
isn't
he's,
it?
he's in Expendables 2 and 3, like
he's
pretty
in Expendables
consistently.
2,
I
and
haven't seen the other two.
and he says he's with Bruce Willis, and he's like, and he says yippee-ki-yay.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh.
Expendables was such a wasted concept. Like
I've only seen the first.
they're called it. They've got this like group of like these,
Every mate, all of them.
all of them are in there, and it's called the Expendables. None of them die. Like if you're called the Expendables, like have a bit of risk about them, but like they're clearly all in the contracts going, well, I'm not dying. Well,
I'm not dying. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but they also have the Expendables. They also have like Terry Crews in it, and they don't use him at all.
They have Randy Orton in it as well.
No, Randy Couture.
That's it, Randy Couture. That's
Terry
wow.
Crews. The best thing about that is there's a scene where he's got this massive shotgun, and it's just panned down this like alley or hall or something like that, and all you just see is all these guys just getting blasted back at the end of the hall by the shotgun, and him walking. That's the best thing in the film, like him with the shotgun. But yeah, like that's mine. I love Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Brilliant
I'll
pick,
never
mate.
get bored of his films. Like
Shall we
those
catch
films
up on the
are.
chat there, Gadget, then? If there's anything of note?
Well, Tigger said, "Stick to Oodles. Stop getting movies wrong."
Out.
I'm getting movies wrong.
There's a lot of talk about the concept of pooing babies out, which we're not going to get into.
It's true. That's what happens.
Sneaky said the Porsche getting flipped back over and it's fucking untouched in the next shot. Don't know what
Yeah.
film.
Yeah, I know there's a lot in that
Commando.
film, Sneaky. If you watch the bit where he blows the building up, it's all cardboard cutouts stood next to the building. So it doesn't stop it from being fun.
Sneaky also said True Lies still stands up now. Commando's got the worst editing ever on film. It's like in Spaceballs when they catch the stunt doubles.
Yeah. Yes. Brilliant.
And then Jean-Claude Van Damme was the original Predator actor.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, Biggie, take it home, big boy.
Sorry, guys, I'm going to completely full nerd here. So I'm covering the X-Men just as a whole. Thank you. So they first appeared in X-Men #1 in September 1963 and were created by Jack Kirby and Stan Lee. I know most people know who the X-Men are, but just in case those that don't know, they're mutants, subspecies of humans who are born with superhuman abilities activated by the X gene. They're basically formed as a team by Professor X, or otherwise known as Charles Xavier. The original team started with Angel, who then became Archangel, Beast, Cyclops, Iceman, and Jean Grey. It was very, 60s, 70s comics.
Basically Fantastic Four, wasn't it?
It was just kind of, there's a criminal over there, let's go and get them.
A criminal.
It wasn't anything special. It was just superheroes with interesting powers. But it wasn't until later when they had a refresh that you had the most iconic ones like Wolverine, Storm, Nightcrawler, Colossus, all added. So I was struggling to think what I was going to cover for this subject, and then when I was thinking about it, I was actually reading the X-Men comics on my phone, and it's just one of those things that I always go back to. I just seem to have this connection with them throughout my life. I don't know why. I've just always enjoyed the strangeness about the stories, the characters. There's been some landmark storylines by John Byrne and Chris Claremont, such as Inferno, Dark Phoenix Saga, Days of Future Past, which obviously was based as one of the movies as a prequel later. In the 80s, you had the spin-off books like The New Mutants, Alpha Flight,
God, yes.
Excalibur, and X Factor, not the show. And then they all started to cross over, and then it all became a bit of a mess where everything was linked with everything. If you
half of them joined the Avengers and stuff, didn't they?
Yeah, when you wanted to follow a story, you had to go and get another comic book to follow that story. But it did have some incredible storylines like the Mutant Massacre and the Fall of the Mutants. They're all very successful. And it was in the 80s that the very first X-Men video game appeared on the NES.
Yeah.
So then we hit the 90s, and thank you to all of you that brought in the animated series theme tune. It ran for 5 seasons from 92 to 97.
Incredible stuff.
It was very successful. It spawned all the toys that came with that. Then you moved on to the artists in the comics like John Romita Jr., Mark Silvestri. And then they divided the teams into twos. You had blue and gold. Then the famous Jim Lee ended up joining the team. This book ran from 91 to 2001. I mean, the X-Men just are unstoppable, basically. They've never stopped. When Jim Lee's #1 comic for his launch, it came out, it was pre-ordered for 8.1 million copies. And it's still, to this day, the biggest selling comic book of all time in the Guinness Book of Records.
I've got one of them up here.
Yeah, just incredible stuff. In 94, 20th Century Fox obtained the rights, but it would be 6 years until they actually made the very first movie.
The fucking first film, man. Ugh.
Which led to what we have today, the Avengers, the Marvel Universe. It was the first time that kind of superheroes, ever since Superman, have actually sort of looked good on film. And I know if you look at the movies now, they have dated. But I mean, the talent that they had for that movie with Sir Ian McKellen, Sir Patrick Stewart.
Oh, God, yeah.
The good-looking Hugh Jackman, who I thought was always a bit too tall for Wolverine.
Yeah.
Halle Berry.
Way too tall.
But yeah, just to name a few. And at this point, the video game side of it was kicking off as well. You had a lot of side-scrolling adventures in the arcade and on the SNES. But for me, one of my favourite adaptations was the X-Men Children of the Atom beat-em-up, which was in the style of Street Fighter, released by Capcom.
Yeah,
which ended up having X-Men versus Street Fighter, which made no sense, but it was awesome. And then it finally culminated in the Marvel Superheroes games. Then you go into the noughties, and Grant Morrison, British writer, took over in 2001, and he completely made his mark with the E for Extinction and Planet X storyline, where basically he culminated with the death of 16 million mutants in the fictional country of Genosha. Morrison also dumped the traditional spandex outfits and tried to make the X-Men look cool with black leather and yellow insignias, which was also the look that coincided with the movies.
Anything Morrison touched was gold, mate.
So that's the one I'm currently reading, even though I've read it before.
God,
it's
so good. He's good with DC as well.
Yeah, very, very, very good writer. And they also drop a nice gag in the movies about referencing the old costumes as well.
Yeah.
Then we go into sort of the 2004, 2007 X-Men Reloaded period. We've got crossover events such as the Avengers Dissembled and the House of M, which is one of my favorite stories of all time.
New Mutants as well.
Yep. By 2004, the console games had taken another direction. You had the X-Men Legends and then Legends 2, Rise of Apocalypse.
Yep.
Then we have Joss Whedon, I know, took over the writing, but it was a great series. At this point, things get a bit silly with characters also getting their solo books. Cable, Deadpool, Gambit, they all had their own series. Then they merged together, went separate. It all became a bit of a mess. And then 2006, X-Men The Last Stand was released, but this doesn't exist. Finally, you have the Messiah Complex for this period, which heads up the Secret Invasion plot by 2009.
So good.
Keep your eyes peeled for that in the in the future for Marvel Universe. Hugh Jackman went on to star in his own Wolverine series, ending with the sublime Logan in 2017.
Logan's good, the other two aren't.
Yes, but starting with the atrocious Origins.
I'm
God.
surprised he managed to get 3.
Origins.
I
they
am as well,
didn't
I
even
am.
finish editing it. They just released it. There you go. Have it.
And the only decent one was the Wolverine, wasn't
Wolverine.
it? Which was based on the Japanese comic book.
I was going to say, was that the samurai
of-
one?
The story, yes,
Ronin.
the samurai,
So
yeah.
bored watching that.
But yeah, it wasn't great, but it was the better of the lot, I have to say. And then in the 2010s, in the aftermath of the Schism series, Cyclops and Wolverine fall out, and it leads to the
Yeah.
Avengers versus X-Men storyline.
So
And this is as far as I've got, so I've still got a long way to go. I'm still catching up. But the prequels of the X-Men movies at this point had varying degrees of critical commercial successes, but they go as Deadpool 1 and 2 as well. So with all of the above, I just feel that I've always had this connection with the X-Men, whether it's reading, playing the game, seeing the movies. It's a series that was in trouble and was almost cancelled. And then it's
Yeah.
ended up being so iconic and successful that the movies alone have brought in over 6 billion worldwide. And
it's
I've always found
astounding because
myself,
only 2 of them are good.
I know. And I've always found myself going back to the comics and either rereading the classics or discovering the new adventures as I am now.
Have you seen the just released this past month the Weapon X Omnibus metal sleeved book? Oh, it's incredible.
Yeah.
It's about 70 quid.
Oh, definitely have a look at that.
Absolutely.
But it's just incredible that a simple comic book series that started in the 60s, 70s to present day was also never afraid to cover anything. In its storylines, it's gone through racism, anti-Semitism, diversity, LGBT themes, communism, socialism, religion, subculture, and of course, genocide. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's quite
And
incredible
dinosaurs.
when you think of it.
And dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs, yes. The Savage Land.
Yeah.
But yeah, just I'm obviously clearly a geek for X-Men. I love it. It's not always been brilliant, but when you pull out the great storylines they're all linked into what happens in the movies now. It's still ongoing. It has some excellent artists.
With the books, there's more good X-Men books than Spider-Man books, yet Spider-Man's still number 1. Do you know what I mean? It's weird.
Spider-Man has always been number 1.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
just super popular. But yeah, there's some of the cultural just touch points of it, stuff like the AIDS panic with the mutant panic and stuff like that. It
Yeah.
was such a parallel, incredible, right?
Everything links in, and they're so
Yeah.
iconic as well. A lot of people know who Wolverine is, even though they might not be a fan of the X-Men
Yeah.
comics. Or it's just, yeah, it's always been there, and I just love it. And if you haven't checked out, like Oodle says, any of the comics, there's lots of
So
places you
many.
can start. They're so good, the storylines, and it frustrates me when you have the movies end up the way that they did. When the lore is there, they could have done so
Get
much
them in the
more.
MCU
Yeah.
now.
Oh, they
Get 'em
are,
in.
right?
Yeah,
They're
they're
not-
there
in.
now.
They're there.
And the
but
villains as
they're
well.
hold-
When you've
they're
got
holding off because they know that that's the big one. Once they get through this stage, this phase, and they say X-Men are coming now,
Yeah, that's what you need.
that's just
and I
like,
tell you what, I
oh,
don't
if they have
know.
a dip in like sales, I mean,
Boom.
which they won't, but if they have a dip in like, the figures and
Yeah.
box office, how do we get it back up? X-Men are coming now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight up.
And I don't even know if they have to go down this is my own personal view, whether they have to go down the cinema route. I think there's so much lore in the X-Men series that I think it would be better as a TV series over a period of time, like X amount of seasons, because I just think they can build up, because it's very hard to get storylines in like a 2-hour movie.
There's a lot of social commentary that would probably waste in a film.
Yeah.
I get that.
I think now that they're doing Marvel TV shows, what I could see them doing is small series, 6 episodes, 8 episode series, focusing on certain characters and certain storylines,
Yeah.
but you're still going to come together for a big film, or you're still going to have the main core of the X-Men, so your Wolverine, your Cyclopses, your Storm, and everyone like in a
Squirrel
film.
Girl.
But you'll have all those like lesser known X-Men might get there, and their stories might get like TV shows instead.
Yeah, and I think that the evidence of the Infinity movies has shown you that you can cram a lot of superheroes in.
Yeah, it
to
can
a
be done.
movie. It can be done. That they obviously it took a lot of time to get there, but when they did, it works.
There
and
is
it
a
can
strong
work.
like 10 core X-Men that you can just have a film with them in.
Yeah.
Like we've all seen Iceman, but people forget at one point before Cyclops, he was a leader. Do you know what I mean? You should have Iceman in it. You should have all your Cyclops, your Wolverines, your Jean Greys. Do you know what I mean? Don't do the Phoenix Saga again, for fuck's sake. Sick of seeing it
twice now.
Yeah.
And certainly don't cast Sophie Turner in it again.
No.
Because she was terrible in Dark Phoenix.
Yeah,
Fuck
I mean, you need
me.
charisma for Jean Grey. And
What
she
I want to
didn't
know.
have it at all.
What I want to know, Big, and I think the listeners want to know, who's your favourite X-Man?
Wolverine,
Wolverine, really?
every time.
Which iteration? Orange Wolverine, yellow and blue?
Brown
man?
and yellow. Brown and yellow.
Brown and yellow.
Who's your favourite bad guy?
Ooh.
I'd liked Sinister, actually.
Mr. Sinister, yeah.
Because
Sinister's good.
he had this really dark way of putting his
He looked like a
fingers-
vampire, but he wasn't.
Yeah, he had his fingers in the pies in the background, just really, it's a long, drawn out affair to get to revealing him,
I
and he still
think-
reappears a lot.
I think that there was plans to use him in these, these reboots recently with Apocalypse and
Yes.
Dark Phoenix.
Yes.
There's like a hint to him in
There is.
one of the films.
His
But
name
then
pops up or
obviously,
something on one of
Yeah,
them.
Disney bought it out, and it's just like, right, that Phoenix is the end. We've got it now.
One
Yeah.
of my favourite X-Men is probably Nightcrawler or Colossus.
Yeah.
I like the Colossus arc where he has to get out of Soviet Russia and stuff like that. That was really good. Cold War stuff. And I think Magneto is so fucking good because he's not always a villain.
Mm.
That's what I
Yeah.
love about him.
I really like how they did Colossus in the 2 Deadpool films.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah,
So
very
good.
funny as well.
So good. yeah.
My favorite bad guy has always been Apocalypse.
Apocalypse is the first mutant, yeah.
When that teaser came out in Days of Future Past,
I'm on
Oh,
So,
don't
I-
remind me.
and I was when the teaser came
So
out, I was just
disappointed.
like, "Fuck yes, we are finally getting Apocalypse!"
and he's going to be brilliant.
and then the film came out.
No.
Yeah,
No.
it's
Oscar,
so
Oscar
disappointing.
Isaac, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
And I know that we've got, Infinity War's done an incredible job, and that's kind of where the X-Men should have been.
they should have been in there, yeah.
But not even in there. But just the fact that those movies, when you now compare them side by side, the
It's
X-Men are
ridiculous,
just-
isn't it?
are so poor in comparison. But they could have been as good as Infinity War could have been. It has turned
I think
out to
Days
be.
of Future Past is a decent attempt at a massive arc in one film.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a decent attempt, but still, it's carried by Hugh Jackman and Fassbender. But Fassbender's been the best thing in the new X-Men things.
Yeah.
yeah.
It seems to him and McKellen, they both get that the
Yes,
two
totally,
sides to Magneto.
totally,
'Cause
totally
Magneto's
agree.
not always a baddie, and it's just
I
other
think
than that, it's shite.
I think I'd like to see with going ahead with those films when they do them is keep them away from all the current MCU characters for now.
Yep.
And I would like them to have their own Infinity War / Endgame style,
Yes.
but X-Men
And there's
only.
plot
just
there.
kind of
In those books I
plenty
mentioned,
of
it's
plot.
all there.
It's all there, mate. Yeah.
and with
Excellent.
I'm not going to go into spoilers. I know people who listen to this aren't there yet, but with what they're doing now, you could have a world without these characters and just X-Men, and it
Absolutely.
would work. So
Great pick there. Great pick there. Has anyone in the chat got anything to say on the X-Men?
There's been a few.
another beer. Sorry.
Debbie
Carry on.
Punk said Cyclops is a ball bag.
Cyclops is the worst, and actually, statistically, the worst leader of the X-Men.
Yeah, Tig said if Cyclops is your favourite, you're a narc.
Yep, you're a cop. Yep.
And then Punk added to that he's an incel in goggles. Sneaky just said Nightcrawler,
Nightcrawler's incredible.
and his claws.
He was really good in the movies, by the way,
Kurt
I have to
Wagner.
say.
Yeah,
They absolutely nailed him doing the Banff maneuvers. That was
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, Wolverine's claws in one of the films looked fucking terrible.
Yeah, they were cartoon claws, weren't they? So bad.
And Gucci Gang Potato has said, with a highlighted message, I would like to announce I've wasted 100 channel points. We really should do something with channel points.
I don't even know what that means.
It's just a thing like people accrue points as they watch our streams, and like you can do things like highlight your messages or have a certain emotes. I should probably work out what we're doing with them.
We could just get free access to Biggie's OnlyFans, really. It's probably the best.
My only fan.
His OnlyFans is blowing up. If you like feet, you're in.
And there are leaked photos online as well.
Excellent. So that's all of us. Let's get on to, have we got a partially bulging mail sack? And then we'll ask the chat for some questions as well.
Yeah. We have a significantly bulging mail sack actually.
Unleash
So-
the sack.
So we're starting off with Degoose. Fuck you, Oodles. He's starting off with Degoose saying, favourite thing ever has to be Destiny. I'm still playing it and it's 7 years old in September. Fuck off, has it been out that long?
Yeah, we're all old.
I do like that game, but
I
it
do.
did go off the rails at one point.
I tried to play it again and I just couldn't fathom it.
Yeah. Oh, X-Ben Blaster X has resubscribed with Prime. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Oh, wait,
dude.
Whoa. Joe.
Who's that then?
Oh,
Joe
whoa.
has just absolutely smashed the chat with lots of presents.
Yes, she has.
Wowzers.
Straight into her own pocket.
Thank you to everyone who's joined.
We should get her on the pod.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
I knew I shouldn't have had to let the butler have a night off. And I needed another beer.
Oh, he gets Sundays off.
It's all come full circle. Candy Machine 85 has gifted a tier 1 sub to TCGS Co.
Nice. Enjoy your ad-free viewing.
Go back to it. Degoose says, favourite thing ever has to be Destiny. I'm still playing it at 7 years old in September. I've probably only stopped playing it for about a month. I'm sure Stig will love that one.
He just plays nothing but Destiny.
It's
And
so
all
good. It's such a good shooter.
I know, but he's really into it, and he's like, I haven't got time to play this new game, or I haven't had time to play that one. It's like, but you just play Destiny all the time. I know it's really good, and it's a brilliant shooter, but I tried to get back into it. He tried to get me and a few people back into it. We had a few raids and stuff like that, but
it's so difficult to get back into.
Yeah,
now.
I
love
loaded it
the
up
shooting in that game. It's
ago.
such a nice.
I bet Degoose has read all the Grimoire cards and everything, hasn't he? He just knows it all.
He'll know all of it.
I never understood that thing that they did though, where the whole lore of the world.
I like
and
the lore in
everything else.
Destiny.
But it was
wasn't in
on
the
a
game.
different website. It wasn't even in the game.
I felt like Indiana Jones uncovering lore. I love Destiny. I think it's brilliant. You can't play it anymore once you've had a year off.
Yeah,
It's too difficult.
Bobby Wayne has said, my favourite sandwich is bacon with applesauce, if that helps.
Oh,
Not sure. Is that a good thing? Or, I mean, you have applesauce with pork. I suppose it works.
I know
Yeah.
Bobby. Obviously, I know Bobby personally. He's a good eater, so whatever he says must be gospel.
better with brown sauce though.
He probably has them both.
absolutely. Oh,
Probably
yeah.
has all the sauces.
And a dash of mustard.
Blue cheese. All day.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, you dirty boy.
I won't go now.
Kate Wheel says, these are a few of my favourite things. The smell of freshly ground coffee. Oh, yes. The Princess Bride.
Yep.
Yes, great film.
Sunday brunch.
What does that mean? Just sorry, I'm not
Just
cultured
going
like
out for
everyone
brunch
else.
on a Sunday.
Is that
Or is it the TV
between
show?
breakfast and
Breakfast
lunch?
Yes.
and lunch, yeah.
Or is it the TV show? Yeah.
It's usually a boozy breakfast.
Oh, I like them.
And a certain episode of Most Haunted. Google Mary Loves Dick Most
Mary
Haunted.
loves
Oh yeah.
dick.
You're
Mary loves dick. Mary loves dick. Oh God, I remember that so good.
I have no
Derek
idea what
Acorah.
that's about. but I will
Mary
Google
loves
it.
dick.
It's just Derek Acorah shouting Mary Loves Dick over and over again.
Good. Mary loves dick.
Fucking hell. Three in and we're already off the rails. John Shepard says, favourite book, His Dark Materials. Favourite comic, Watchmen.
Yes, mate.
Favourite smell, freshly baked bread.
Yes.
Favourite TV show, 6 Feet Under.
Right, can I just
Really
stop
good.
here? 6 Feet Under, one of the most underrated TV shows,
Absolutely.
So good.
possibly
It's
of
incredible.
all time, and no
Brilliant.
one talks about it. I just don't get it.
Well, we're talking about it now. Incredible.
we
Get it
are.
I
watched.
think it's in my top 10.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
so good.
It's so good.
And then he finishes off with favourite video game, Half-Life 2.
Never heard of it.
What a fella. What great picks.
I'll play it one day.
Hey, we like John Shepard, friend of the show, John Shepard.
Absolutely.
Mr. Half-Life 2's not that good. I've only played an hour of it.
Stop bullying me live.
when that came out, when you said you only played an hour of it, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Which if I played Dragon Quest 11 for an hour and just went, this is shit.
Most people do.
I love this next one.
Sneaky at I Am Sneaky says, favourite thing? Gaming in general. I started on an Atari 2600 and I've played millions of games since. They've shaped my life ever since I could waggle my joystick. Oi, oi. Games are fucking awesome. Yes, they
We have
fucking
got to be a
Yes, they
similar
are.
age, me and Sneaky, because that's exactly my start as well.
I bet Sneaky classes himself as a gamer.
Yep.
Sorry, Gucci
Oh,
Gang
it's allowed
Potatoes.
so.
Gucci Gang Potatoes just said, my mum's just walked past as you all said, Mary loves dick. Cheers, I look
Mary
like a
loves
perv now.
dick.
I just got distracted by that too.
We could have that as a sub now. Do you know when people subscribe? Mary loves dick.
That the title of the pod now?
Maybe.
Well, there's a few.
Jamie Y says, favourite plays on musicals, The Sound of Music, Rent, but not so much the movie. Danny Boyle's Frankenstein.
What?
Favourite actors, Benedict Cumberbatch, Tom Hiddleston, Michael Sheen, Tom Holland, Tilda Swinton.
Oh,
Like the Brit.
Choices.
Yep. Favourite movies?
She's American as well, so that's
No.
favourite
Favourite
favoritism.
favourite movies, That Thing You Do, Lord of the Rings, Princess Bride, Back to the Future series. Favourite books, The Stand and Lord of the Rings.
Yep.
You know, there's been 2 mentions of Princess Bride there.
Yeah.
Never into it.
What?
When I watched it.
Oh, mate,
never
it's
seen it.
good.
You've never
You-
seen
I think
I've
if you
never
watch
seen
it
it.
now, I only watched it first time a couple of years ago. I think if you watched it now, you'd be like, "It's all right."
Is
I
this,
think it's brilliant.
Is this like when I saw The Goonies at the age of 28 and I fucking hated it?
Yeah.
Dude, I won't forgive you.
No,
For
yeah, you suck for that. But yeah, I think it's a good 3 out of 5 film for me. Like, but I think if you watched it when you were younger, you probably
I used to really
Fair
love
enough.
Willow as a kid, and I don't like Willow that much anymore. So yeah, I get what you mean. Like some things just like Neverending Story. I used to adore that, and it's fucking shit.
that. Isn't Warwick Davis in all of these? Is he just
I don't know. I don't know.
the bad link?
So apparently, Stig is dead to Hicks and I'm dead to Sneaky.
I mean, yeah.
The Princess Bride has some good moments in it, and some
I
good
think it's brilliant.
memeable moments, but it's not as good as everyone makes out, in my opinion.
Like Half-Life 2. I think.
You have to actually play it first.
I think.
That should be a stream series. Oodles playing through Half-Life 2. If we can make him finish a game.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
You can't finish.
Shall I do it on mouse and keyboard as well?
Well,
So-
yes.
Fucking bad.
Tig has said fillet steak, rare, with a glass of Malbec or Rioja. There's a
Yeah.
restaurant called The
Malbec.
Bank in Delft on Saddleworth Moor that does the best fillet steak I've ever had. Their best version was once served on a potato rosti with wilted spinach. Absolutely incredible.
Ooh.
I adore good steak with good friends. My
I had
gaming
amazing-
ones.
Sorry, just because I had an amazing steak when I was in Texas. My dad was-
Argentinian for me.
My dad was just like, "We're in Texas. We need to go find somewhere to steak," and it was just fucking incredible.
Was it a half a cow?
I was just going to say.
It wasn't at all. It was
All back half.
the portions were the right size, but like, yeah, it was a brilliant restaurant, brilliant
Texas.
steak.
Tig also says my gaming one will be Tomb Raider or the Uncharted games. I love those games.
So
They
good.
tie into my love of traveling, exotic locations, and creepy ancient history. I can bundle myself up in a hotel room and lose myself in a jungle, traverse faraway rooftops, or climb a frozen Siberian cliff face. Definitely love the puzzles and climbing over the bobbins Uncharted combat, though.
Yeah.
Got all of that, but then I read that as really bad hotel choices.
There's no hotels on the first Tomb Raider, I can tell you that.
His
I do
TripAdvisor
love
must be scandalous.
A third-person action adventure like that, there's just something nice about it, especially when they're fucking well made. And that, I haven't finished the other two in the Tomb Raider trilogy, but that first one when she's getting impaled and stuff like that, that's
And the
some of the
music
best.
as well. That
Oh,
music was
so fucking good.
sublime.
I preferred the Uncharted ones over the Tomb Raider ones. I think the Tomb Raider ones got to a point where it was a little bit torture porn. There was a lot of creative ways to kill off Lara Croft. But then there was that whole thing, was like they had all that pre-release stuff saying like, oh, it's going to deal with Lara killing for the first time, and yes, that happens in a cutscene, and then she commits a massacre afterwards, and
But
she's
you
fine with
you
it.
commit a massacre,
Yeah.
not her.
Yeah, but no, you have to commit a massacre. You can't play the game without.
You can't have a
I-
pacifist run.
yeah, and she's generally fine with it. Whereas like with the Uncharted ones, I think they're
He just
very
kills
silly.
everything.
Yeah, Nathan Drake is a mass murderer, but they're just very silly, very light-hearted games.
I love the Uncharted games. I need to play the
Lost Legacy?
Lost Legacy.
Lost Legacy. I
It's
need
really
to get that
good.
one played.
Really good.
Robotic Monkey has said there are a few of my favourite things. When I was playing Tearaway on the Vita, anytime there is a wide shot in the game and you can see the sun, the Vita uses your front-facing camera and puts your face in the sun. It made me smile every time. Genuinely one of my all-time gaming memories. Then he goes say, when I spent most of a season in Rocket League stuck at the top of the gold rank, I lost a bit of hope and got frustrated. But just a week or so ago, I forced a little bit more and I've managed to break through to the next rank up. Well done, Robotic Monkey.
Nice. That's a tough game. I hate that game.
And then he goes on to say, when you're driving out in the real world and all the traffic lights change as you're rolling up to them. I know a lot of them are designed to do this, but it still feels nicely satisfying. And the last one, that sound that ice cubes make when you drop them into a drink on a hot day.
Oh, yeah.
What does it do,
into a
Biggie?
glass before you put the drink in. Because both of them are good, in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Sam Bone Solo said Rocket League is amazing and any other opinion is wrong. I mean, they're correct. They're absolutely correct.
We have
No,
so
it's just
much
because
fun
I'm
when we
rubbish
play
at it. It's a great game. I just crap.
We should
When
stream
we
that again.
when we play Rocket League, we don't concentrate on the game. We just talk.
And we just piss about and somehow score the odd goal.
Yeah. And when we don't talk, we win. It's so weird.
That's what happens with FIFA when I'm playing FIFA.
Yeah.
That's why I'm playing a tournament
With a car?
with Sambo and a few others. We're playing a tournament, and like when we all watch each other's streams. When everyone's like chatting away and stuff, I'm like, I just take my headphones off because I can't concentrate on what I'm doing, and then I smash them all.
Oh yeah,
Top of the league.
It's his dad over there.
So, Angry Kurt, is he best boy this week?
No, because he's not turned up live.
Oh, okay.
But he doesn't do streams though. In all fairness, he has said that.
He hasn't earned his place as best boy yet.
Fair enough. Well, he says, hi, ME Crew. Congratulations on your first year anniversary. I want to talk about holidays and specifically my two favourite places I've ever been to in Las Vegas and Disney Orlando, both for similar reasons. I know they're both all fake, but I just love the atmosphere and how much there is to do. Las Vegas has the gambling, but I didn't partake in both times I've been. I saw loads of shows, went to the Grand Canyon, drove a Ferrari, ate in loads of restaurants and more. My ultimate highlight, though, was an unforgettable helicopter trip over the Grand Canyon whilst Elvis Presley played on the radio.
Nice.
Fucking hell. And then Orlando was just incredible as a kid. It's just full of everything you could ever want, an absolute ton of fun, and you can tell the adults are loving it too. I haven't been since I was 10, but I've booked to go next year, and I cannot bloomin' wait.
Go to Epcot
awesome.
as an adult. It's the absolute best experience because you've got a little bit of a day to chill, and then you've got all the restaurants from around the world. And now there's a specific thing that fans of Disney do, and it's to have a drink in every restaurant in the world. So you do basically a pub crawl of Epcot. And you either start or you finish in Mexico. So you've either got a tequila to start or a tequila to finish. And it's absolutely sink or swim.
I mean,
Best
the
fun as an adult.
problem is Kurt doesn't drink.
Yeah.
Oh God. Well, try some food from every different restaurant then.
Have some
There
Shirley
you go.
Temples.
I've planned to, because we never got to go when we were a kid. I remember once that actually Disney World tape you could order. You know, like, you could order a tape and you can see what it's about and book a holiday.
Yes, you could get them from the travel agencies and
That
stuff.
came
couldn't
through
you?
the post one day. Me and my brother were just like, let's take us to Disney World. And then all of a sudden, my dad was like, obviously my mum had decided she didn't want to go. And dad was like, I don't know why they've sent that. And I was like, no. So I promised like that when my youngest is a few years older from now, when she can kind of get on things and walk
And
around a
remember
bit
it
more,
better.
I'm saving up. I'm taking them all like to do that. And I went to Vegas last year. Obviously at the wrong time. Everything started shutting down as we were there.
You shut Vegas down.
It was a ghost town by the time we left. But I still had a great time. I jumped off the stratosphere. That was amazing.
Wow.
So tallest
I've
building
flown
in
over it on
Vegas.
Flight Simulator.
Yeah, that's the one that you flew over, and I was like, I've jumped off that.
Yeah.
It took me 3 attempts before I actually did it. But like, all my friends were watching. I was like, don't look down. If you're going to do it, just jump. Because I held onto the barrier, I lurched forward, and I looked down, and then I went back. I was like, nope.
When you said you had 3 attempts, did you jump the wrong way first time?
No. It took me 3 attempts for my feet to leave the platform and just jump off. And then all my friends are watching, and I'm like, I cannot not jump. Because imagine if I turn around and bottle it. I was like, I'm just gonna have to fucking jump, just do it. And it's great. Like, and it's not as bad as you think either. You have that first lurch in your kind of body, and then when your body, and then when you,
I wouldn't do it.
You kind of like hit a point where you don't feel it, but it's amazing because you're just free falling.
It's wasting good beer time, if you ask me.
No, we were still drinking, but like.
Kurt finishes that off with another thing I want to highlight is the airport experience when you're going on holiday. There's the excitement of going on holiday that always arises when you walk through the fragrance bit of the airport, and I love browsing through the WH Smith to buy a couple of mags and a book for the trip.
You can tell Kurt hasn't got children because the airport is the worst part of holidays.
Duty free in Toblerone.
Stag do's, the airport is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
You get there, even if it's 4 o'clock in the morning, pint and a sausage sandwich.
Yeah.
Doesn't
You
matter
don't have to be in
wherever
an
you're
airport
going.
for that, mate.
Yeah.
I'm usually a couple of Valiums and a couple of drinks in by that point.
Lads, it's time to drop his acid before we get up flying.
Yeah.
Okay, now, let's go.
Debbie Punk has sent in another essay.
Oh, here we go.
Last minute, by the way, Punk.
It'll be horrible.
10 minutes before we went on air.
Yes.
Beautifully written. I'm looking forward to this prose.
Dearest motorcycle espadrilles.
Oh, that's a nice one.
When will I ever get a chance to talk about pancakes? Right fucking now, that's when.
Love 'em.
The humble pancake has been a pillar of my enjoyment as far back as I can remember. Pancake Tuesday was always an event. Mama Punk knew how to whip up a batch of those tasty suckers and always had a full range of tooth-rotting delights to throw on top. Later in life, I soon realised that anywhere Lady Punk and I travelled to, we would always end up dining on pancakes, usually on the last day before returning home. I will always remember the pancakes in Copenhagen until the day I die, the day after seeing my favourite band play live and taking in the sights with my favourite human. It is incredibly versatile and you can tailor it to your taste. Salty bastard? Replace the sugar for salt. Vegan bastard? Yes, technically there are pancakes for you too. Racist? No, you do not deserve pancakes. You get a smack in the face with a frying pan.
Yeah.
Classic Punk.
Yep, bravo, Punk. Just this morning we had pancakes to perk us up after a day of second jab blues. Well done, your second jab as well.
Yes.
Greek yogurt and blueberries. It worked a treat. Pairs well with bacon, as does everything. Honey, maple syrup, multitude of fruits or sweets. They're the cornerstone of any content human. Hopefully when the world returns to some normality, we'll finally get overseas to try some Japanese pancakes in Serbia. Happy pod birthday. You're continuously taking strides upwards, and it's been a pleasure to listen as you've grown and evolved into the pod we know today. Keep up the great work, and I look forward to whatever's coming next. Love you guys. Parentheses, even oodles.
Oh!
It's
It's because I'm slagging his, I'm whoring his podcast on my shirt, isn't it? That's why. I just want to talk about pancakes for a split second. Man, pancakes are incredible. Like the first time I went to America, we went to a place that sounds quite racist called Cracker Barrel. The Cracker Barrel. They did these stacks of pancakes with butter and syrup, and it's the first thing I ate when I got back. Still jet lagged, ate it. I had diarrhea for 2 days after that.
The butter
It's
and
gonna be a
cracker
good
is amazing
memory.
as well.
It was a good memory because it was so fucking nice. I
So,
love pancakes.
do you prefer American fluffy ones or the thin crepe?
Crepe.
Like,
I don't eat like on like Pancake Day. You got to have the crepes, haven't you? You've got to
Yeah.
I do both.
get that lemon on it, and but I think I prefer the American style.
Yeah.
It's fluffy goodness.
See, I like the crepe style ones, but I like them with bacon and maple syrup on.
Oh, yeah.
See, I prefer the fluffy ones for that.
Oh, pancakes so good. We should just do a pancake podcast.
Yeah, get for that.
I don't think there's no one on the planet that doesn't like pancakes.
Honestly, when I was in Texas in the airport, in the hotel, we went down to breakfast. The breakfasts there were insane.
They're immense.
And she's there going, "Do you want some pancakes?" Like, yeah, pancakes. Like, what topping do you want on? It's just like, what? She's like, what? Like over here, it's just like you might have a bit of fruit or something. She's like,
some
it's
syrup.
bacon, like maple syrup. Do you want some cream,
Egg.
ice cream if you want, or you can have fried chicken on it if you want.
Yeah.
I'm just like, wow.
Fried
And it's
chicken on
not like they
pancakes
give
is the
you
worst.
two. It's like this mountain that they bring
Yeah.
over.
It's so
It's
big.
insane.
Just watch your ass after you've eaten. Fuck.
X Ben Blaster X has said in the chat, had amazing pancakes in Amsterdam in a small place right next to Anne Frank's house. Best part of that day,
Oh wow.
Awesome.
as you do.
Was that in
Yeah.
Everton?
No, not in Everton. No, Amsterdam.
No, it's have a look at Anne Frank Everton, and then on Twitter, then you'll know.
Okay.
Just
Sneaky said, for fuck's sake, I'm starving now.
Yeah. There's not many takeaways that deliver pancakes, is there? That's the problem.
There is actually near me. There's a dessert place that'll bring you crepes.
Ooh.
Last up for tonight, we have Nimrod Hicks.
Okay.
And he says, "Dear mediocre emissions,
That's about right, actually.
Yeah.
Apologies for not pitching in any feedback and opinion lately. It's been quite a tough few weeks. One of my favourite sayings is, when man makes plans, God laughs. And I'm sure after the year we all had last year, with the terrifying start to the pandemic and the struggles of lockdown, we can all reflect on our place in the fate of the world. Change is just a dice roll away. So imagine how dumb I feel when I look back and 2021 has been even shitter than last year. For fuck's sake. Since February, the wonderful Mrs. Hicks has had a cancer diagnosis, 2 failed attempts to cut it out, and eventually a full mastectomy. It was brutal, and my black dog barking didn't help matters either. So all in all, a sad tale of woe. However, having the love and support of friends around me helps enormously. Therefore, with your open subject, I nominate my favourite thing to be modern escapism. Okay, calm down. You're clearly not the greatest thing in the world. That goes to Bob Dylan's music.
Well,
Bob Dylan is fucking good.
You're probably not even the world's best podcast. However,
It's debatable.
the lovely inclusive community you and we have created over the last year has been a great boon and is always a kind, safe and fun place to be, which has helped me navigate these choppy waters. Happy birthday, and thanks to you guys and the whole Modern Escapism family. I love you pricks. Nimrod.
Cheers, mate. We love you too.
Thank you.
I told you
Totally.
it were a good idea to set a Discord up, didn't I?
Yeah, it was a great idea.
I love that place. I just love the fact that people pop in and out. They're either in there every day.
There's people that don't
once
even
in a
listen to the
while.
show, and I don't even care. It's just come in,
It's
follow
just
the
great.
rules, and enjoy yourself. There's not many
And-
rules.
And like Nimrod says, he told us about that in our mental health chat.
Yeah,
And
I know.
it was a tough day for him.
Yeah.
And the love that everybody gave to him and everybody else that's all had, we've all mentioned stuff in
A
there.
horrible thing.
It's just a nice supportive place. You could be open and honest as you want to be. And it doesn't matter what you say, everybody's there, supportive, just to give you a little pickup. It's amazing.
That's when obviously people don't know when we first started this in his little green room that we had before it became the Discord that you know it is now. It was just a room for us to chat in, way before you were born, Candy.
It was a glorified group chat, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a group chat, and I think everyone that we started it with, because we started it with other people, remember, we all had that same thought, like, let's apart from like procrastination and escapism, let's make it a positive mental health place. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's got better. Like, you see it on Twitter, people saying stuff like, oh, Discord, oh God, it's because you're in the wrong ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's so nice to know that, like, I've had arguments with family members, and then I can just look to these people, and yeah, a lot of them jab at me because I'm a fucking idiot, and I know I am. But
It's affectionate jabbing though.
yeah, they're jabbing at me with like pokers, but they've got like pink fluffy bits at the end. Like, we love you, but we will keep prodding you.
And it's always bantering. It never gets out of hand. We make sure it doesn't. We try to keep it a nice, safe place. And that's the way we want it to be.
It's so fucking special. It's yeah. I'm honoured to. We're all honoured to serve you. We really are,
Yeah.
and it's good. And if I were drunk, I would be crying, but like I say, hangover. So now it's time for everyone's favourite bit. It's the socials and a sneak peek of what we'll be doing next week, but it won't be live. Sorry.
Yeah, so again, just thanks to everyone. You can find us on Twitter at Modern Escapism. On there, you'll find a link to all of our episodes and our socials. You can join us on our Discord that we've just spoken about. Again, it's a wonderful community, most of whom I think have actually joined us this evening as well.
thank you.
So thank you so much for that.
Yeah,
It's really
thank you.
appreciated. If you do have any comments, you can either tweet us or email us at modernescapismpod@gmail.com. If you enjoy playthroughs, find us on here on twitch.tv/modernescapism.
So make sure you're
Saturday.
following if you're not already.
Yes,
I
you'll get
think
a little
everyone is
ping every
now.
time we go online.
Anyone with those Prime subs, if you're not using them, just throw it our way.
And tell your friends as well.
Dragon
Saturday
2 isn't
Noodles,
cheap.
What have you got for us this week?
Dr. T Gonzo is now following. See?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent.
He knows what to do.
We need doctors as well. Thank you. What did you say, Candy? What am I doing this
What are
week?
you doing this Saturday? You
Fuck knows,
crashing
mate.
some planes? You're doing
I
Fable?
don't know. I think I've been inspired by
Fable's gone.
Stig's moaning. I think I might play Half-Life 2.
Fucking
Yeah.
hell.
I think I
What
might
are you
play
playing?
it.
What are you playing it on?
Xbox.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we bullied you into starting Bioshock and you ended up loving that.
If you want, yeah, that is true. That is true. I'd never liked Bioshock. I was crying. Do you know what I mean? It was so good. It was same with Titanfall 2. Oh, Titanfall 2 is so good, but I had no idea it was so good. So, yeah, I might even plug in the old keyboard and mouse and play it on the Xbox and just...
It's fine on controller. I've played it on both.
Is it? Is it all right? Oh, yeah. There we go then. But yeah, I think I might do that, and then I will... I kind of want to get back to Fable, but there's so much potential, isn't there? So I'll do something. God knows what.
Mondays we have Biggie Dies. Biggie's continuing his playthrough of Dark Souls for the first time.
I didn't play it last week because we had to record our special on Monday, so I should be back to normal tomorrow.
I'm looking forward to that.
I'm not.
We're about to say, you're at ONS, aren't you? Yeah. Still.
Wednesday, Gadget and Stiggy still playing Sea of Thieves?
Yes.
Nice. That was fun last time.
Would have played it. When
would have played it.
The audio version will have played that. So,
but the people watching
last
live
time was a nightmare because we went the wrong way and then the game glitched. We lost like an hour and a half, and it was just like, and then it took us like 10 minutes to get back to where we were.
Did it not constantly save then?
The thing is with when you do the Tall Tales is like they're designed to be played over like an hour and a half. They're not very long, but they don't save your progress.
Oh,
so like it glitched for us about halfway through it, so we had to come out of it and come back in and start the whole thing over again.
And then we got griefed.
We got griefed in the first instance, and after we came out and came back in, it put us on the other side of the fucking sea from where we had to be. Like it's just it didn't even spawn us anywhere near, so it took us about 15 minutes of just open sailing to get there.
It's still such a fucking pretty game, though, isn't it?
I still enjoy playing it. Yeah.
Yeah, see your friends, punk.
See your friends. Oh, that was funny. Thursday, I'm continuing my Candy's Creature feature, so I'm going to be starting a new game. I'm going to do just 1 week of Five Nights at Freddy's, so that's on Thursday or tonight if you're listening to the podcast.
I can't believe you're doing Five Nights at Freddy's, like a proper Twitch streamer. Like,
I know.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, guys.
I'm going to get so many fans. And then I think on the stream we're going to decide what I should play next. So if you've got any suggestions, I would love to be scared. I haven't been yet.
Five Nights at Freddy's too.
Yeah,
Soma.
Kind of horror game.
Play Soma.
Soma's good. Have you played Outlast or Outlast 2?
Haven't done that one.
Oh yeah, Outlast.
There's a lot of willies in that. Do you like willies?
I'm a fan of the Willy, yes. So,
a lot of them in it. So
yeah. Sold. So I won't be announcing next time. But yeah, feel free to join me and make some suggestions. All of our playthroughs are uploaded to YouTube for you to watch in your own time. At the moment, you'll need to search for Modern Escapism in channels, but we're extremely close to getting our own personal links. So if you wouldn't mind giving us a subscribe, that would help us immensely.
Yeah.
Patreon we've spoken about, patreon.com/modernescapism, so that you've got £5 for Modern Escapees, £5 for Scorched Sheep, and £7.50 for the Biggie Bundle.
Biggie Bundle, baby.
The Biggie Bundle.
Look at his face.
How can you say no to that? Next week's subject, we have got a banger, absolute banger, and I can't believe we haven't done it yet. It's Best Baddies.
How have we not done this yet? I was so confused. I was like, we've done it. Then we look through a filing cabinet. We haven't done it. Fuck.
Best baddies.
Best baddies. So, oof.
What baddies do you love to hate? Do you love them or loathe them? Who's the baddest baddie of them all? Let us know in a message or a comment.
I mean, it's clearly Punk. It's clearly deadbeat Punk.
He's an anti-hero.
It's an hour and a half rant about him.
Good boy.
And as always, if you have a minute and you've enjoyed our podcast, please consider leaving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcast or anywhere you can find to leave reviews. It really helps us get seen. We read all of our 5-star reviews, and if you have any suggestions for us, positive, negative, we'll read them all as long as it's a 5-star one. So we'll take everything on board.
Absolutely. I've just seen in the comments.
So
Thatcher.
fine.
Yeah.
Thatcher. Tough wank, but I got through it.
Now.
Excellent. Thank you very much there, Kenny. Thank you for my lovely co-hosts. This has been fun. I don't think we're going to get kicked off the internet, luckily.
No, we've done well so far.
Yeah, I was biting my nails thinking, oh, not kicked off the internet because we're not getting edited. So if you are listening to this on audio, you're probably getting a probably really unedited version, and it's as close as you can get, even where we're describing things that you can't see. So it's going to be fun. But yeah, thank you everyone that tuned in. Oh, there's been loads of you. We've too many. I can't even read all your names out, but it's just it's been a a strange year. It's been a cracking year, and I'm proud of me mainly. No, I'm proud of you all. I'm mainly proud of the community that's somehow gathered, and we're all just helping each other out.
Around.
Toughest time for a lot of people ever, and it's just we ain't going anywhere. We'll see you next year for the 2-year wrap up and stuff. It's just I'm just absolutely honoured to keep a podcast alive for the first time in my life.
And as a bonus for all our listeners, as a thank you from me personally, I've got a 12-month subscription to Xbox Ultimate, and I'm holding it up to the screen for you just to enter the code. First one, first come served.
Yeah, get ready.
Ooh,
Here you go.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Oh, he's glitched. He's glitched out.
No, he'll do it. He'll do it. Don't you worry.
Well done. There you go. It's for the listeners. Wow,
Yes.
do I have to explain
Also-
that one?
No, you don't have to explain it. You don't have to explain it.
If you've watched tonight, remember, and you are one of our Patreons, we will still be doing the Patreon thing. So download it on Thursday, and you can skip ahead all the stuff you've watched and get to the Patreon section.
Yeah, on the Patreon download, I'll make sure to point the time code in when we go to the Patreon bit, so
Yeah.
you can
So-
just skip ahead.
Yeah, we are closing the live show very soon, and we're gonna meet the patrons back round the back for cheeky hand jobs and kisses, basically.
And pegging.
Yeah, Peggy. So all I can say is thank you for a strange and incredible year, and here's to many, many more. So thank you for the live chat. Thank you for all the live viewers. Thank you for all the listeners. And thank you for people in the future that have come back and listened to this and thought, wow, what a weird bunch of fucking nerds. So, yeah, good night, and may all the gods be blessed.
Those of you that left, fuck you.
Yeah, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for joining.